and we ain't never got a box again. Well, well, I already been getting these bets, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
Yeah, you know the deal. We back again. Yo. A round of applause for Jersey's finest. A lot of content creators not worthy, but they minus. They get offended and start singing like the whiners. Talking like they tough, but it's only screaming and whining. My homie JusDueBoxing was the cat you don't come to. Your squad get run through. By the time you come to, you duck food. You suckers talk tough on the internet, revealing all your threats. Now we got you trapped in the net. JusDueBoxing be on this grind, y'all better hustle up. You deadlifted 90 pounds, we doing muscle ups. There's really no comparison. His voice sound like a derringer. Throwing a towel is just embarrassing. My dog Just very philosophical and psychological, and he mixed it all with good boxing news. These YouTubers feel like Bishop, I guess they got the juice, but it's lonely at the top to Just feel like child abuse. Be respectful, he don't want to talk wild and loose. If you can't relate, you get dismissed like a mild dispute. These weird cats would tell lies that they hide the truth. Why beyond views? You lose your life when you collide with dude. It's JusDueBoxing. All you cowards quit jocking. Kirk is official with no other options. Yeah, yeah. You know the deal. Judah Ben, we in the spot. JusDueBoxing, yeah. And of course, shout out to Mrs. Do, holding the whole family down. Word 'em up, word 'em up.
What's good with the fam? My bad, y'all. StreamYard was tripping, y'all. It wasn't me. It wasn't me, like Shaggy, man. Okay. Salute to everybody in the building, man. We back again to get boxing. It's JusDueBoxing on this good Monday. StreamYard tried to stop me from being great, but it ain't gonna work. What's good with y'all, man? How y'all feeling, man? Hope everybody had a good weekend. I hope everybody having an even better start to y'all Monday. Salute to the fam. We back to take over these airways for a couple hours, man. Y'all know how we do. Y'all catch this on the playback, man. Sub to the channel, smash that like button, turn them notifications on, come rock out with your boy. So let me say what's up to the fam. BBO, what's good with it, fam? How you feeling? Alden, what it do, homie? How you feeling, bro? Said, in my opinion, Spence taking the fight is another chance of being becoming undisputed champion, and the bag is too good to turn down. Also, thank Frank Martin and Shakur next year. It's always next year. Hardcore boxing news. Salute to my brother Jay Hardcore. How you feeling, Jay? Salute to the OG. The big homie. Miss Joette, salute queen. How you feeling today? Good afternoon to you. D1, what's good, my bro? Zoom verse, peace and blessings, Brody. How you feeling? Dante, all boxing talk. What's good, Dante? How you feeling, bro? How y'all feeling? D1, and we shared the live. That's what I'm talking about, my bro. Sharing the lives, man. Mike, what it do, homie? Got to get this good work out here to these good people. You know, to the good people. We got we got to attract those like minds. You know, those like minds, man. You know, well, we got a few things to talk about. It's always something going on in boxing, right? Always something. A lot of this stuff we speak on be ongoing situations, and you know, just us never having the definite answers to these questions that we be having. But you know, even though I feel like in terms of the Frank Martin Shakur saga is really over. But what I did want to do, because people sent it to me, I got sent it like 2 or 3 times. I know Frank Martin supposedly had a response. He had an interview that he did with the Queens. Salute to them, the Queens of the Ring. I guess he spoke his piece. He spoke his truth, or what he felt to be his truth. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't even listen to it. I didn't listen to it because I didn't really feel like he was gonna say something I didn't know. And once I felt like one of the talking points was that $8 million narrative, I was already turned off. So I just decided not to check it out. But we could revisit it, man. We're going to play it today. So it was so much speculation on as opposed to what happened on his side of things. And y'all know how I do. It's like a follow-up, just to be fair. A lot of people were speaking for him. Everybody was speaking for him but him, right? So it's always good to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. You know what I mean? Sheena, salute to the queen. How you feeling today? Ashley's corner. What's good, cuzzo? How you feeling? Jim, my bro, good to see you in the building. How you been, bro? Salute to my guy, Jim, man. And, I wanted to, also going to discuss, I'm going to give y'all my thoughts on what I think about the Spence Crawford saga. And like I told y'all before, I'm pretty consistent. I'm going to stay consistent with it. I can't wait to this fight is behind them. I can't wait till they finally close out the chapter and get it squared away. And we just move on. Because like I said before, it's by far one of the most toxic, if not the most toxic matchup that I've ever seen in boxing by far, bro. It was a lot of capping in that interview. Salute to my bro, Mike. See, that's why I love the family, man. Love the family. But people take this cap as the gossip, man. Work been crazy. Hey, man, don't forget, Jim, to take a minute for yourself, bro. I know how that be. Glad to see you in the building, man. Don't work too hard over there if you can help it. I know that's probably who you are. You're probably a hard worker, man. Don't work too hard, man. Always good to see you in the building. He said capping like a mother. And again, I try to play these things because I want to be fair to fighters, right? I always want to be fair to the fighter. You get what I'm saying? And allow them to speak for themselves. It's always best when you can hear straight from the horse's mouth. You know what I mean? And like I said, I just don't believe anything somebody say to me. You get what I'm saying? I think I know how to process and digest information pretty well. So, we're gonna play some of it though, because we're gonna allow the young scrap Frank Martin to speak his piece. And I'm only rehashing this, like I said, y'all, just to follow up, because this was really what so many people was waiting for. If we being honest, like the interview with him, to see what he was gonna say on his own situation. So, and again, salute to the Queens of the Ring, man, for the interview. I'm pretty sure they did their thing with the interview. Like I said, I didn't listen to any of it. This is gonna be a first for me. So, give me a second. My phone went out crazy. Salute to everybody, man. Y'all smash the like button for your bro if y'all haven't, man. So we're going to play some of this, y'all. Y'all bear with me, and we're going to cook on some other stuff as well. So y'all know how we do over here, man. We give everything and everybody they just do, no matter who like it. You did. Do that again. Do that again. Yeah, and as soon as he said chorus off, he said that matters for chorus off.
I feel like
you just got the first title shot.
I seen the
They ask the right questions. They do a great job, man. Salute to the queens, Boxiana and Nick J. Hope they don't mind me sharing this interview. I doubt it, but we're gonna listen to this audio.
Hey, look, it wasn't a flex on the people, you know. It wasn't to do none of that.
Yeah, okay. Well,
I feel like I need to go put my shit on, friend. I feel naked.
Hey, you might have to.
I can't even compete. That's way out of my league. I'm gonna be on here blank. But the people want to know. The people want to know. The people
There we go. Let's get to it, man. We're gonna break it down like we always do.
You're kind of quiet. You quiet. You know, you stay low key. You stay out the way. You don't be in no trouble. But in these last 2 weeks, your name has been viral. I want to know, how does it feel? How did it feel for you to be in your first viral vitriol?
True indeed.
Spat?
That's why I love my cousin, because her work is one of
one. You know
what
I mean? But you know, it ain't nothing that I can't handle or couldn't handle. You feel me? Everybody just talking. You know, they going off of one side of what was going on. You feel me? They
True.
never
We was going off on one side. Now he get to speak his piece. So y'all bear with me. This is the first time I'm hearing this.
So it was just basically just like me taking everything everybody was saying. You know what I mean? Like the first couple of days, it was like, damn, like it was crazy to see it all. It's like everybody just listening to one side of a story. So it fucked me up like the first like day. But after that, like I'm just like, fuck it, these people gonna talk. No matter what you do, no matter who you fight, they gonna have something to say. So it's just like
true. That's true. Smart man.
It ain't gonna even be enough. You know, no matter what you do, it still ain't gonna be enough. They wanna see some more. They wanna see some more. You know, so
right.
You know, it is what it is. I'm over it now.
Cool, absolutely cool. I feel that way even after we do this video. Even after we do this video, people are gonna feel how they want to feel. You about to tell what you need to say. You gonna say what you need to say. People are gonna feel how they want to feel. So
for sure.
I'm glad you've gotten to that place. Boxiana, you got some questions for Frank?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask after this. Like, do you feel the need now to have to go back and forth with people on social media, or do you feel like the silence is the one that's getting them the most?
I feel like the silence get them, because they like, dang, it just keep them like, why you ain't answering? You know what I mean? Like, I ain't really into all that internet. You know, like I ain't. Like yesterday, I think it might have been yesterday or the other day. You know, I got the commenting back. You know, I got the commenting back to some of the people in the comments, so that, you know, just popping some shit. Not too crazy, but you know, I was actually commenting back or whatever, giving them some of the energy they've been giving me.
Exactly. Look at you.
You know, but I don't feel like I need to. You know what I mean? Comments, everything that's said. You know, people gonna talk.
Absolutely. So, okay, let's get to the meat and potatoes. First question. Let's clear this up before we dive in deep. Let's clear this up. Has there been any change in your training camp? Has there been any change in who you're training with and anything like that?
Same team.
Same team.
Derrick James, man down, same team. Ain't nothing changed.
Ain't nothing changed.
I don't even know where that came from.
Wow. Okay, y'all, check it off your list, because I know you want it.
Man, pardon me, y'all. Y'all know I'm gonna stop it. The reason I don't know how pardon me, y'all. I don't know how everybody else do what they do, but y'all know how I do. I'm gonna pause it because, you know, as it makes sense to. And again, it's always makes sense to play the audio straight from the horse's mouth. Y'all remember it was a little rumor out there saying that he was unhappy with Derrick James. He was leaving. He was going to go back to his old team, things like that. That rumor was floating around. So again, he shot that down. So just in case anybody missed it and they wasn't listening for it, remember it was a rumor saying he was potentially going to leave Derrick James because he was unhappy and all these different things. So he shot that down. So I just want to pause it accordingly. I'm trying not to pause it too much, but only when he responded to the things that was out there pertaining to the situation and different other bits of information that may have not been true that we was getting. And what it do, my bro? How you feeling? Yeah, man. Facts, man. Facts. She my top one, and D1. She my top one. She the number one for me. Y'all smash the like button. We gonna keep rocking, man. So again, Frank Martin said it himself. Same team, same everything. He ain't changing nothing.
Yeah, check it off your list because I know you wanted to know. I don't know where that came from, but that was out there. That was another thing that came out of this whole fiasco.
It was a million stories came out. You know, everybody got their own little narrative. They done said a little bit of everything.
Absolutely. Okay, cool. So, next question. Was this fight actually ever a real thing? Because you said earlier that your team has been solid. It's been the same this whole time. Was this fight ever actually in consideration?
For sure.
Okay, so it was in consideration.
Yeah, it was a real thing.
Just real quick, she's probably asking that because you heard people saying that, you know, with Top Rank, you know, it's the Top Rank way. They never really was going to plan on throwing Shakur in there with Frank Martin. It was different people pushing that, you know, saying that, you know, they on different sides of the street. They wasn't going to work together anyway, which was all BS. You found out that it was a real fight. Not only was it a real fight, but it's still a fight still to this day. No matter what people want to spin and say, there's no harm in saying what it is. And what it is he turned it down. And he going to get into his reason, I'm sure, in his interview.
Okay. So what happened?
So, yeah, it was a real thing. It wasn't nothing fake about the fight.
But give us your version. Give us what you know to be true about why this fight fell through.
So, but on my end, verbally, I agreed. You know, got a call, asked him what I thought about the fight. You know, it's for the WBC and all that. Mm-hmm. I agreed to it. You know, I'm like, it's a green light. You know what I mean? So after that, you know, me agreeing to it, I ain't never know what the money was. I ain't know none of that. You know, so what happened was.
Real quick, would you agree to something without knowing what the money is? I just want to put that out there. Would you agree to something without knowing what the money is? That sound like a small minor mistake on your behalf.
Once everything came about, I figured out what that money was, and I wasn't cool with it. You know what I mean? I wanted more. So that's why the fight didn't fall through, because it was everything. I agreed to everything. You know what I mean? As far as the stipulations, everything. You know, from it being on ESPN to, you know, the where it was gonna be at. Like they were saying, it could have been in Vegas or it could have been where dude from. I agree to everything. You know, the only thing I didn't agree with was that money.
Okay, so when they.
So again, I'm not trying to be funny here. I'm not being an asshole here. When you hear guys say they agree to everything, I agree to this. I agree to this. I agree to this. Now I'm just going off of what he said out of his mouth. I don't got to put no words in it. Y'all heard what he said. If you agree to everything, there is no but. So you didn't agree to everything. You get what I'm saying? I get he got to it in the end. Yeah, but the money. So again, you didn't agree to everything. And that was probably the initial confusion in the beginning. When you agree to something, they assuming that you're cool with it. So when you agree, you let them know on their end you were cool with it. So then after you got a second look at it for whatever reason, then you seen that the money wasn't right and you then wasn't cool with it. I'm not knocking you, but again, the process in which you decided to not be cool with it after verbally agreeing and green lighting it, as you put it, that's the interview. That's the situation that put you in. Brembo, salute. I hear you. Well, see, with me, I'm gonna be straight down the middle. We just gonna play what he said, and we ain't gonna put no words in his mouth. Ain't no way you agree without knowing the money. Although that's the first thing they talk about in a negotiation. Boom. And salute to my brother CANELO, local sports, last of the dying breeds. You know what I'm saying? Salute to my guy, man. You know what? Papers first, but in Frank's case, being damn near an old man in boxing, he's only got 5 good years left and ain't even had a title shot yet. It's DuckTales. It's definitely a bad move, though. You know what I mean? Gertz, what it do, fam? How you feeling, bro? Damn, Frank, you should have hired Bill. I need to do some Chris Cappy. Frank Fish eyes is scared to death for court. Money. You know it. Al Booger, salute my bro. How you feeling, family? Appreciate you stopping through. Salute to the channel member, my guy. What's good with it, man? Ghost, what's good with it, family? Look, he took a way smaller deal. You know why? Because he really liked that. But the truth is, always in the middle. Talk to him, Ghost. You know it.
First came out with the news that there was an agreement between both camps. At that point, the money had not been discussed. It was just the intangibles, the place, the venue, the weight, that kind of thing. There hadn't been any monetary discussions.
Hey, yo, nah.
So the fight was agreed upon that you were going to fight Shakur, but you guys had not sat down and done any numbers.
Yeah.
Okay, so when they sent you the contract,
Fate was good, my bro. How you feeling?
You looked and said, hey, this don't make no sense to me. Okay, so
all I'm gonna say is I'm gonna just stop it again right there. Yo. Yo. Nah, I'm only laughing because just tell me if I sound crazy. So you mean to tell me they're gonna present a fight to you? They're gonna present a fight to you and talk about everything but the money? Yo, nah, hell no. Nah. So hold on. So what are you fighting for? What was supposed to make you want to take the fight? What was supposed to make you say yeah? Like the fact that they had a venue and an opponent, and like a location worked out. Like what was supposed to get you to say yeah in the beginning? What? No, you mean to tell me you mean to tell me these people discussed everything with you? It sounds like everything but the money. They ain't say nothing. They ain't say nothing about no money. What the hell with it? Frank, I would have said no to, bro. Frank, I would have said no to. If they presented everything to me but the money, what am I fighting for? Of course you say no, right? That's it. That's easy. But my only pushback on that is why in the hell would they discuss every other detail? Oh yeah, you know what? I'm gonna just conveniently leave out the main reason you fight. The main reason you would want to take this fight. Yeah, we're gonna figure that out later. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that right now. Talk to him. And this is a man that is boots to the ground. Every fight I have negotiated, the first thing we have to agree on is the money. Is the money. And that's personal experience. That's not hearsay. That's not what he think. That's not what he feel. That's not how he feel. That's what he know. Personal experience. That's all I'm saying. I ain't got no other type of pushback. I don't see why that would be the way to do the business. Hell no, y'all not getting a fight. Y'all ain't discussed this, man. What, he gonna get paid? Barbara D, good afternoon. Salute to the queen. How you feeling today? Salute to BBO. What's good with it, bro? Ash, man, you feel me? Cause of vacant title shot. It was a good opportunity. I thought so, but I understand you got to cross your T's, dot your I's. You want that bread. If I forget the purse, baby, we fighting. Hold up. Wait a minute. I just need a little more. You know, if I need a little, you need a little more payola. Know what I'm saying? Up that bag. Let's get to it, y'all.
So,
salute to my guy, my bro. Hardcore
people are gonna take
it. That's what I like to hear. I'm glad you're doing well.
That's another thing that's been killing me. People like just take the money. They like just take the money. this your first time getting paid $1 million and this and that. That $1 million ain't no fucking $1 million. Once you take out taxes, once you taking out them training fees and them fees you gotta pay. But people, the fans want to see the fight. You know what I mean? They want to see the fight, but they ain't understanding that a fight this big, a motherfucker got to get paid. Can't one side just eat. Yeah. You know, I don't give a fuck what.
Nah, that's real. That's real. That's real.
Way more than the other shit. I didn't put in work too.
That's real.
You know what I mean? So
I get it.
At the end of the day, what I was asking for, it wasn't nothing that was outrageous. That a motherfucker could have said, "Oh, I'll price myself," or none of that. Like what he was getting paid and what I asked for was reasonable. You know what I mean? So I just feel like the whole thing is like they could have just gave me what I like, what he was getting paid and what I asked for was reasonable. You know what I mean? So I just feel like
key words. He just feel like you don't get something in negotiations because of how you feel. You don't even get it because that's what you want. You get what you negotiate, and that's what I know to be true. You get what you negotiate, not what you feel, not what you want. You get what I'm saying? It has no how you feel. Again, I feel like they should have gave you the money too. To be perfectly honest with you, so I'm right with you, and I'm not trolling. I'm not being funny. I'm 100% with you. I feel like they should have gave you what you was asking for too, because I really wanted to see the fight. You get what I'm saying? So I ain't knocking you, bro. I ain't knocking you, but again, you don't get money. Your purse is not going to be based off what he's getting. And again, that's another reason why it probably didn't happen. If they felt like you looking at his money or looking at what he's potentially getting and looking at you like, oh man, he's getting that. Well, I should be getting more. Again, ain't that pocket watching? Ain't that pocket watching? But because people had a problem when they were saying what his highest purse was. His highest purse was $250,000. People were saying they hate that. They hate when people do that. Ain't that the same thing? Saying what this guy is getting, he ain't say it, but ain't you? You're pretty much essentially worried about what he is getting and thinking because he is getting that, I deserve this because he's getting that. No, that's in fact, that's not the case. And have you put in work? Absolutely, you have put in work, but you haven't fought any champions. You haven't been a world champion in any weight class, and you only been at 35 and you just getting on the scene. Respectfully, you have done things that we're gonna always respect as fight fans, but in terms of you saying you've done something, you haven't done anything. Respectfully. You haven't done anything just yet. So I get it. I'm not here to tell you what you do or don't deserve. I can't do that. Like I said, I'm with you, Frank Martin, when you said you feel like they should have gave you what you was asking for. I'm with you. I get that. I get it. But again, you ain't going to get it because you feel like they should give it to you. If you negotiated it, then maybe that's a different deal. But for you to say it because you feel like it, that's not why you're going to get it. You're not going to get it that way. Your team didn't negotiate it. Therefore, you didn't get it. Get what I'm saying? Do that sound unreasonable? Your team did not negotiate it, therefore you didn't get it. So all I can say, that's the only thing I can say. And at the end of the day, you didn't. Guys, feeling man, for pocket watcher. I'm telling you, man, you got to, man. Frank saying this Vince McMahon is all about the money. Yeah, you know, Jannar, salute fam. The young 23-year-old Edwin De Los Santos showing the ghost how you do this ish. Yeah, man. Salute to Edwin De Los Santos. And again, I want to be very clear. Do y'all see how straight down the middle I'm being? I'm not accusing him of nothing. I'm not calling him out of name. I don't have to call him nothing. I don't have to down him as a fighter. It's not that kind of conversation, right? I'm just trying to understand. And I'm glad he was finally able to speak on it himself. You get what I'm saying? It came at a time where you needed it, right? So it was cool to hear him finally come out and speak for himself. You get what I'm saying? So I like that. I like that. For a future fight, I will hope so. I will hope so, Barbara. I will hope so. I really do. I really will hope so. You know what I'm saying? I really do. Time don't stop signing. Make money. I'm telling you, man. Yeah, you know I try. You know I be fair over here, man. I don't got to call him nothing. I don't want to call him nothing. I don't feel like I'm holding back. You get what I'm saying? I don't got to steer the boat that direction, right? I don't have to be a negative guy. Like I'm here to get the understanding. And with this conversation, this does allow me to get an understanding as to why he said no and what was going on, right? So that's all this is about. You know, for some people, they might want to go crazy on him and tear into him. And I get it. But I show people that I'm a lot more fair than that. I ain't got to do that, right? I'm just letting him speak his side of things. And I hear him. I ain't against it. I feel like he should have got the money too. But I think what happens is I think the manner in which he went about it is why he didn't get what he was looking for. From the outside looking in, I think the process or the manner in which he chose to go about trying to get them extra funds, I think was the ultimate reason why he didn't get it. You get what I'm saying? Because I think they looked at it like, hey, man, you just said it was cool. And then you said it ain't cool. And now you need more money. You get what I'm saying? So you can see why it could be a disconnect right there. Because in their mind, they like everything's a go. This is how much he's getting paid. This is how much we paying our fighter. The fight is a go. They fight here on this date. You get what I'm saying? And then he hit him back and he like, hey, man, I need a little bit more. And they probably like, hey, man, you just said you was cool with everything. What changed that fast? You get what I'm saying? So you can see how this kind of fell apart in a sense. You get what I'm saying? You kind of see. I'm turning into nothing. I don't talk about Frank Martin like that to tear him down. Yeah, right. But I do know one thing. You turned down total shot. Yeah, title shots. Not in this game. You might not get another one. That's true. True. He said Frank the pocket watcher. Frank, you supposed to get back for your team. Go beat up on Shakur. Yeah, man. Frank is green in the game, so he's relying on his management to handle things. And apparently they ain't tell him about the money till the contract was in front of him, which is bad business. And that is a fact. Right. And I think too, Kano, that's where the disconnect came in, right? And you see, Kano, this is why I wanted him to speak for himself, right? Because not to just see who the duck was, that conversation is played and exhausting, right? You just wanted to understand from his perspective what led to him saying, nah, I'm cool. And again, like I've said from the very start, before I even had any of this extra information, before he even talked on his side, I said it is not is cut and dry. It's somebody just ducking like, oh, I'm scared or I'm not ready. I've been saying that. Now, when you hear that and then you hear what Kano has added, it makes a lot of sense. It just clearly was a communication error on either side, where things were they thought it was all a go because it was a verbal agreement. You heard him say that he green lighted everything but the money. So he said they discussed everything but the money. That just sounds a little crazy because what is your incentive to fight this man if they're gonna discuss they're gonna hash out every detail and leave the money out? I just put that out there for y'all to think about that. Do y'all think they would really do that? They would discuss everything except the money and expect him to say yeah and not know how much he getting paid? Just think about that. I want everybody common sense. Do you really think that an agreement takes place with no money being discussed whatsoever on no side? That's the disconnect. That was the disconnect. People probably didn't let him know what it was, and there you go. Simple disconnect. He see the like Kano say, he get the paperwork. He like, oh, I need a couple more dollars. Get what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You killing them, right? Yeah. Oh, absolutely, Dante. You already know, bro. They're slaughtering, bro. Edgar Chavez jersey is in the building. Salute, bro. We just want to understand the duck. Faded fools. Just someone should have been paying attention. All facts, Barbara. All facts. Joe, what's good with it? What's good with it, fam? Frank was probably getting robbed in the back end. Something. Man, it was something was going on, but I tell you what, this brings a little bit of more clarity for me. I think all types of Frank just confused on what happened. Yeah, Frank like, damn man, how am all this and that, bro? I ain't know this was the money. You get what I'm saying? That's what Shakur. That's the part he don't get on his end. It was a disconnect in terms of communication with him and his team, getting the right information to him. If they told him everything about the fight but the money, like Kano said, that is bad business. You get what I'm saying? How they accept the fight without you really fully knowing if he's cool with what he was getting paid? That's crazy. It's crazy to me. It's crazy. You get what I'm saying? So again, I don't know. Just throwing on the cape. Just who throwing on the cape? Why would your team hide the money from you? You're really trying to hide? If anybody, which I only see the two brothers, I'll put y'all two on the spot. If y'all dare say I'm capping for anybody with the conversation that I've been having for the 32 minutes I'm up here, y'all clearly not listening, nor paying attention at all. But I know the rest of the chat is, so the majority is what matter. What y'all two saying, y'all not listening clearly. This ain't even that kind of conversation. So again, you don't have to cap for somebody when you're a real one. You get what I'm saying? I'm a one-on-one. You don't have people that can call it out and call this shit straight down the middle without swaying nobody. You get what I'm saying? I play this stuff and I let people think what they want to think on it. You get what I'm saying? So we're gonna finish talking about this. Let's finish here with Frank. Gay. You get what I'm saying? All facts. I speak all facts. Unlike the rest of these dudes.
The whole thing
I don't push narratives
they
or cape for fighters that I don't know.
You know what I mean? And it wasn't even nothing crazy. And then the fight could have happened. It was that simple. The fight could have happened. It's all about the money.
So him
going it's around all about the money.
Telling people that you were asking for 50-50 is a lie.
Man, that's cat. And if he was getting paid what he was getting, if he was getting paid what he say he was getting paid, you know, Devin Haney offered him, from my understanding, they offered him like $8 million.
Right,
to fight for Undisputed. And then you got me. Then you got our fight. We fighting for a vacant title. You know, it's WBC. It's big. You know what I mean? But a vacant title, and then everything in his favor. You know what I mean? All I asked for was an extra little you know, and they couldn't give me that, you know. But
extra little,
if he told me he was getting paid, if he was getting paid that, he capping about a whole lot. He capping about the money with Devin, right? What he said he was getting paid, and all that. You know what I mean? That's cap. If he was only getting $3 million, you know, and I was getting an M, that's what he said he was getting. You know what I mean? That's cap. You feel me? Because if Devin Haney offered you $8 million, You talking with? Didn't he say he got paid?
Oh, is that pocket watching? Not only is he speaking about how much Shakur would have been getting paid in the fight with him, but he's allegedly speaking on this alleged fake $8 million that Shakur would have got with Devin Haney. Oh, where's the outcry? Where's the public outcry? Where's the videos? Where's the Frank Martin is pocket watching? People don't keep the same energy. Stop crying over everything, man. It's a conversation, bro. It's a conversation. I don't need nobody to agree. When you got common sense, you could just agree with logic. You don't got to agree with me. Just agree with logic and common sense.
I paid way more than that.
He said it's all about the money. So there you go. You got your answer. This fight didn't happen because it was all about the money. They didn't give him the money that he wanted.
Well, okay then. My thing was this. This was how I was looking at it. Because the word duck gets thrown around a lot. And to me, ducking means going out of your way to go around, not fighting somebody. That's what ducking means.
Give him a little
If the money ain't right, to me, that's not a duck. Like, you're not finna use me. And my thing was this, like you said, the extra oomph you were asking for, you didn't feel like it was a lot. For me, I'm gonna ask you.
The weird part is y'all putting caping, and this ain't even about Shakur. That's the weird part. This is about Frank Martin speaking his piece. Y'all just weird like that. When you a silver medalist, when you a couple punches away from being a gold medalist, man. When you nice, when they've been knowing about you since you've been a kid, you don't need no YouTuber. And when I say no YouTuber, nor even a family member to come out, cape, cat for you, do none of that. The skill set speak for itself, and Frank Martin knows that. This is why he wanted a little This is why he felt like that was a big fight. You heard it out of his mouth. This is why a big fight like that, he basically saying he deserved to get paid. Why is it a big fight? It wouldn't be a big fight because of you. It wouldn't be a big fight because of you. Because you struggle to sell tickets. If we go in there, you struggle. So it wouldn't be a big fight because of you. You ain't the two division former unified champion. You not that. So again, the fight wouldn't be what it is because of you. So again, you wanted a little because you already know what that challenge is in the ring, and hopefully they revisit it later and they get a fight. But again, I never called Frank Martin a duck, so I don't have to cape for Shakur unless I was pushing that Frank Martin was a duck. And even if I was pushing that, you still don't got to cape for Shakur because everything he said is exactly what happened. The man turned down the fight. He said it was about money. It's just that simple. It's not about trying to tear Frank Martin down, make him look bad as a fighter. It's none of that. That I'm more creative than that. I'm doper than that. I don't have to do that. You get what I'm saying? Frank Martin is speaking his piece to some degree. I'm in favor of what Frank Martin is saying in terms of getting a little because I wanted to see the fight, and I felt like that little wasn't a whole lot. But I also feel like the reason why he didn't get that little that he asking about is because of the way that he went about doing it. It went from a verbal agreement to it being a green light and a yes to everything to it being a hold on, I need more money. And I think that's where the disconnect came in at. And I think they were unwilling to budge, and they just said, the hell with it. You either take this or you get what I'm saying? Especially after saying you agreed. So in his mind, yeah, I agreed to everything, but I ain't agreed to the money, is what he's saying. So I can't tell him that's not the case, right? But the only thing I can say is just logically thinking, common sense wise, how are you going to present a fight to a fighter, right? And discuss every detail with him except the money. Where's the logic in that? What is he fighting for? He's not fighting to show up at a venue to be popular. He's fighting for money. So again, why would you present a fight to a fighter and hash out every detail except for what he's getting paid? That makes 0 sense. That would be, like Kano said, that would be one of the first things they speak on, the money that he's getting. So that's the only issue I have. And I'm pretty sure that's the issue they had. So it had to be some type of lack of communication on their part. Like he had knowledge to everything but the money. That's not a good sign. That seemed like his team didn't let him know something, but they agreed. You get what I'm saying? It was a disconnect. It's just that simple. It's not about making him look bad or he got to be a duck. He clearly just wanted a couple more dollars. That's just that, you know, you make of it what you will. If you want to call him a duck for asking for more money, then you can. But for me, I think the way he went about it is the reason why he didn't get it. That's just my opinion on it. You get what I'm saying? Frank not a good businessman. And man, his team ain't, they let him down. Y'all smash that like button too, man. If y'all haven't, man, at this point, Williams Payton versus Frank Martin. Yeah, that'll be it there. Yeah, make sure he has that little right. Frank is not a good businessman. I feel you. Not one of the first things. It's the first thing. Thank you for the correction, Kano. Appreciate you, bro. The first thing. So again, y'all, and that's based off somebody that's dealt with negotiations. That's the first thing that comes up is the money. So why would they discuss a venue, location, and you get what I'm saying? The fighter, the opponent, the weight, you know, it's for a title. They're going to tell you everything and just conveniently be like, oh, you know what? Yeah, we not going to tell him how much money. It's going to be a secret how much money he get paid. The only people that's not supposed to really know how much money he get paid is us. He's supposed to be the first person to know how much money he's going to get paid because he is the fighter. That's the only thing the only pushback. That's it. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. Mike Biggs Boxing, my bro. What it do, homie? How you feeling, bro? How you feeling? Still, Frank shouldn't trust his team that much to say yes to fights without knowing the money, right? And the thing is, Cuzzo, the problem is with that is they've made all his other fights for him and it never was an issue up until this one. That's the issue I have too. And salute to L-Dub because he made that point. They've made all his other fights for him with no problem. You know, following the same format, you would think, and now when you get here, it's an issue on his side. So it is what it is. Auckland LDTV, blessings to you, Brody. How you feeling? There's a reason about two people in front of Frank rejected the fight. Can't ignore that. Frank was no first choice for the WBC. Talk to him. Bole, what's good with it, Brody? How you feeling? It's about to be a Frank and Zepeda guarantee next. I watch it. I definitely tune in. But let's finish playing this, man. Salute to Frank Martin, his speaking his piece. And again, it's not about calling him a duck. It's about letting him speak his piece and what I think about it. And I'm not really disagreeing with him at all. So a
lot for me. I'm gonna ask you this later. He threw like a temper tantrum because
that's true,
you wouldn't concede these terms. But my thing is, why is he so mad? And the reason why he was so mad to me is because he knows that fighting you, and let's just say he wins for the sake of argument, having you on his resume means more than any fight that he has right now. So in my mind, if he thinks you're that worthy, why wouldn't he pay you like that?
Why they still talking about the fight? Why you got a whole nother fight and they still talking about our fight? That's
because it just happened and people are still asking questions as to what happened about the fight. I haven't seen Shakur Stevenson one time just openly just start randomly talking about the fight without somebody asking him the question. Because it recently happened and people want to know, because given the quality of opponent that Frank Martin is and given his resume and his temperament and how people view him, they wanted to make sure that it wasn't a flat out duck on his behalf. You get what I'm saying? So again, this is why they still speaking about it. And to be perfectly honest with you, I don't think a win over Frank Martin does something so much more significantly for his stock than beating Edwin De Los Santos, who coming off a couple of his biggest wins of his career, upset wins and all that, and ain't lost since the split decision victory that he suffered some years ago. So I can't necessarily say without a doubt that, you know, beating Frank Martin raises his stock significantly higher than beating Edwin De Los Santos. And one could argue that Edwin De Los Santos presents a different level of danger in the ring for Shakur Stevenson, but I feel like overall Frank Martin might be the better fighter. But even with that being said, Edwin De Los Santos still presents a certain level of danger that I don't think Frank Martin possessed. That's just me. That's the part I disagree with Frank. Would not be his best name on his resume. Nope. And that's where it's debatable for me too. Hey, D1 said life ain't fair. Thomas Hill, my God. Blessings to you, Brody. How you feeling, man? Salute to my guy, man. Appreciate you, man. Frank talking that talk. Let him talk that talk. Shakur needs to be fair. And again, why didn't he pay him? Shakur don't pay his opponents. So they need to get that shit out of here. Stop saying what Shakur ain't do. Why Top Rank ain't want to pay him more? My only guess as to why they didn't pay him more, whether you want to blame it on Shakur or Top Rank, is because he initially agreed. Because he verbally agreed and he pretty much said so. He said so out of his mouth. You get what I'm saying? Cobain, salute, fan. Appreciate you pulling up. Auckland LD, safe travels, Brody, on that road. Frank used to be in the back chilling and not being in the city of attention negatively. So I see how he reacting and he's uncomfortable. I feel you, Fate. You get what I'm saying? So again, it's not about making him look bad and nothing like that. That's not what we doing here. We just keeping it a buck, you know? A Bucksy T.O. because Loma coming off a loss. Oh, Okay. You gotta be fair. What happened to being fair again? And I can't control it. So when y'all can't tell me to be fair. I can't pay him. So you can't tell me to be fair. So when y'all tell somebody to be fair, y'all gotta go tell Bob Aaron, go tell Top Rank to be fair. Go tell Team Man Down that they should have notified him on what he was getting paid before they all verbally agreed that they was cool with everything. Because that to me is, after listening to this, that's where the disconnect came in. The verbal agreement was yes, and it went from yes to hold on, I need a little So again, if y'all don't see the issue with that, then that you just ain't trying to see it. And he's not a bad guy for it, but that's bad business. Point blank. After saying yeah and then being like, nah, I need this. After saying yeah, it's just that simple. He said yeah, he told y'all out his mouth, he verbally agreed, he green lighted everything. He green lighted everything but the money. He said, oh, he got to the money. He like, oh, a little after verbally agreeing, after already. So they felt like they had an agreement already. So it's that simple. It's not hard to understand at all. But let's keep playing what Frank Martin got to say.
A whole nother fight, and they still talking about our fight. That's how you know how big the fight is. And just like, come on, bro.
The fight
like,
ain't big because of you, dude.
Everybody talking about he champion, he this and
no
that.
Disrespect.
I understand that. And that's why I was already cool with taking less of, you feel me, the percentage. I was cool with that. I wasn't tripping. You feel me? Because I know, yeah, you got some straps at 26 and 30. You feel me? But, bruh, you ain't did nothing at 35, bruh. You know what I mean?
And neither have you. And that's the sad part. And you've been there longer than him. He just got to 35. And you saying he haven't done nothing, and neither have you. You haven't done nothing at 35, 30, or 26. And you've only been at 35. And you haven't done and longer than him if you count up the time. He just got there. So again, you've been there longer than him and you haven't done nothing either. So again, you don't have no bargaining chips. You don't have no leverage like that. Let's just call it what it is. The same way people felt like Shakur didn't have no leverage in the Devin Haney situation. He has no leverage. Where them talking points at? And y'all talking about being fair. It wasn't talking about being fair when he was offered 25%. Don't bring that fair BS to me right now. He didn't want to fight, man. He didn't want to fight because the money wasn't right. But it was after him saying yes. That is the only issue. No, it's not about him being a duck. Let's just be clear about the conversation. But y'all can call him a duck. I'll let y'all have that. I'm just putting out what's out there. You know what I'm saying? I'll let the people call him a duck if they think so. Santos was taking the opportunity of a lifetime. No matter what happens, I think his stock rises. That's a good point. I think so too, yo. Unless he just get obliterated or something, Rosa. You know what I'm saying? Shakur 2 division unified, and he never won a belt. Come on, man. Right. That's why I say when he say, yo, but you ain't done nothing at 35, you killing your argument because you ain't done nothing either. You've been there longer. You haven't done anything either, and you've been there longer. That's the issue. You have no argument right there. You just killed your own argument, man. Yeah, facts, Pete. No verbal agreement. Send me a written offer term sheet. Right. I mean, and again, I think that's a miscommunication, I think, on his team, yo, for not, you know, I don't know how he would know every detail but money. I just don't see why that would be something that they would fail to discuss with him. I just don't understand that part. That's the part I don't get. You know what I mean? But we're gonna keep playing.
Like, I gotta get something. You feel me? I ain't going into no fight, no big fight like that, mentally not happy with my paper, and then two, everything in his favor. Come on, bro. That's me putting myself at a disadvantage right there. Come on,
and I'm glad you said that. And I'm gonna take this way somewhere else, hard left. But what you just said, I immediately thought of EJ. I immediately thought of Spence, because that is the situation that he put himself in. And it didn't turn out so great for him. So I'm just saying, you got to live and learn. Looks like you made a wise decision as far as I'm concerned. Friend, you have another question?
It don't matter if Shakur lost his belts on the scales. Frank never had belts.
You feel about how
and he never fought a champion ever.
It started on Twitter. Then he did the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast, and he had some things to say. Like, how do you feel? Like, what do you have to say about the things that he had to say about you?
How you feeling,
that's some bitch ass shit. You know, some hoe shit. Like, we grown men. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, like we could have easily made everything happen. But like the shit he talking, you make the shit personal. You calling another man a bitch and this and that. Like, I ain't even cut like that.
Frank,
you know what I mean? I ain't gonna go on wax and fuck my brand up because I'm out here, talking crazy and this and that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. We men, bro. And then you got two of us. You got two brothers, right? And niggas bashing each other. Come on, bro. You ain't even bashing them other folks like that. You feel me? We love to tear each other down. You know what I mean? So,
well,
it is what it is. It is what it is. Fuck them.
Well, he's Puerto Rican, so half Puerto Rican. So maybe I don't know.
That Puerto Rican bit is a little extra exaggerated. It's crazy that that's the route that they want to go when something don't go the right way with a fighter that people like. At the end of the day, the man had an opportunity for a fight. You can't compare this to no other situation. I wish people would stop doing that. His situation was his situation. He felt like after verbally agreeing, you heard it out his own mouth. This is how naive people are and how people have selective hearing. He's telling you out his own mouth. He agreed to everything, then turned around, but the money. Yeah, but the money. So then you did not agree to everything, but you verbally agreed at the same time and you green lighted everything. Your team, y'all agreed to cancel the purse bid instead of trying to fight to get you more money. Then you waited to after verbally agreeing to say more money. That's the only reason why I think he didn't get it. He didn't do it from the rip. You get what I'm saying? He didn't do it from the get-go, from the gate. This wasn't the first thing that he said. In their mind, I think they felt like it was a go based off what he's saying. He said verbally agreed, but call it what you want. That's what he said. That means he was cool with it. So again, why the hell would they hash out? Why would they discuss every minor detail with you except for your money? How they gonna just leave that out and expect you to be cool with it? So that would be just bad business, and I just don't believe that happened. So somebody didn't get the message to him to what he was getting paid, and it is what it is, man. He just didn't fight because of it. And again, y'all keep talking about with Shakur this, Shakur that. Y'all got to stop pushing that bullshit. He can't get him paid. He can't get him paid. He's not responsible for what he get paid. Him and his team is responsible for that, not Shakur. Him and Man Down should have negotiated for more money. It's not a matter of Shakur giving him anything or even being fair. He didn't take something that they initially thought he said yes to. It's just that simple to understand. It's not that difficult. Big Texas, what it do, homie? How you feeling, Frank Duck Stevenson Duck? I don't care about the duck talk. I can have that. As I wasn't. That's not the conversation for me. You know what I mean? Sound like he got cold feet. He just decided and he needed more money. That's all it is. It's that simple. It's that simple. And I ain't comparing one situation to the next. If y'all want to call one a duck and the other duck, cool. But this all this was to get more of an understanding. Just hear Frank's side. I didn't never listen to this till today. So I hear it now. I hear him. At the end of the day, what he's saying is he just needed a little more and they couldn't get that to him. Everything else is the runaround. Like you could cut all the fat out and just get right to it. Like he's saying a lot, but the only thing that matter is it seemed like it was a miscommunication on him and his team's behalf. That's what it seemed like. That's what it seemed like happened. It's that simple. It's not about, oh, he ducked, he's scared, he didn't want to fight. Nah, man, he said he was cool with everything but the money. And I'm going to take him at his word. He decided, hey, he needed a little and they decided, nah, you're not getting a little And now he fighting De Los Santos. And we'll see who Frank Martin fighting next. We'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see, man. We will see. Not really miscommunication, but more like poor communication. There you go. Poor communication. True. That's a better word for it. See, poor communication. Right. And that's all. And that's all we do. Like, again, man, I think people brains are so conditioned to try to make somebody the bad guy anytime something falls apart. But that's not the conversation I'm having. That's corny at this point. Everybody, they can have that. You can have it. It's not. I'm not siding with one guy or the other. It's about Frank speaking on his behalf. Like, notice I ain't say he wrong for nothing. I ain't say he's a bad guy. I'm not pushing that he's a duck. That's the corny ass conversation right now. That's corny, man. We gotta, upgrade the conversation. Who want to hear about duck talk all day? That's corny. This dude, I don't think he no scary guy. I just think he wanted more money. He felt like the fight was big, and because of the magnitude of the fight, he felt like he deserved a bigger slice of the pie, or just a little more, as he put it. That's all. I'm not knocking him for that. That's the problem with y'all. Y'all, this is not about trying to make him look like something he not. Y'all gotta listen, bro. I ain't gotta take up for no fighter. We ain't having that conversation. This about Frank Martin. This ain't about Shakur. This is his side of things. Narrative holds no weight with me. Shakur turned down the offer, not the fight, which is why after he petitioned for the fight to go to purse bid, y'all don't mention that part. Now that's a fact because again, when they do, it shoots their narrative down, Cano. It shoots their narrative down. And this is why when they compare the situations, I get immediately annoyed because it's not the same thing. Turning down an offer and turning down a fight is not the same thing. Y'all just don't. You can't make it that because you want it to be. Get what I'm saying? So again, nobody, and this is the part that's annoying. If you're going to be lobbying for somebody should give him more money, then you should be speaking on the fact that he should have never agreed to anything if the money wasn't right. That's what I'm not hearing people say. Self-accountability is very simple. It's very, very simple, bro. Very simple to understand. Technically, that would be the done. Yeah, you already know. You know, D1. We know the smoke and mirrors when we see it. Look, I've hired personnel, process paperwork, and Ninja didn't even show. Hold on. Did you show for the first day of work? Same thing I said, Ninja-ish, right? Salute to my guy, Stormy B, man. Go with the running the sanctioning bodies. There ain't no running to the sanctioning bodies. It's doing what you're supposed to do, is doing business, bro, and not being a sucker. It's knowing your business, Jonathan. It's knowing your business and not being a fool. Understanding that you don't have to take the first offer given to you because the fans say so. See, that's how that works. See, he ain't got a stupid ass team behind him that would allow them to take BS money when they know they could have got more by just simply going to the sanctioning bodies. You think they did that for no reason? I'm willing to bet you anything they would have gave him more than 25%. That's the end of that. I'm not even willing to discuss that no more. It's a dead end conversation. Randy, salute, fam. How you feeling? I'm gonna let Frank Martin keep speaking his piece. Jamal Shakur can give out title shots to vacant title because the champion vacated because he didn't want to fight. Now let's finish hearing what Frankie had to say. Can be ignorant to business and law, unfortunately, right?
Another question that I have for you. I want to know, do you have anything in the works? Since that fight fell through for you, we see you stay in the gym religiously. Is there something else on the horizons for you?
Hopefully we can get something like, I'm hoping I can get something like December.
December, okay.
Yeah, mid or late December.
Okay. Mid or late December.
Mid or late December.
What you over there thinking?
What you smiling about?
That's cool.
I don't know.
That's cool to see him. Staying back in the gym. Mid or late December,
possibly.
possibly.
Come in here and throw little hints in here, and then my brain be thinking, I don't want to think anything. You gonna be on some undercard or something, or you gonna have your
Nah. So for real, I gotta see what's up with that. You know, far as on a fight, like it wouldn't be an undercard or nothing like that though.
Okay. Yeah. Is there a reason why your team has not come out and said something? Is there a reason why it's only been top ranked folks talking about what happened with this fight? Was that a collective effort on your team's part to just be quiet about it?
Man, you know how it is over there. You know, we just we quiet. You know, we quiet, and people they're gonna talk. They're gonna say what they say regardless. Okay.
Now, question: do you know? Because you may or may not know this. Like you said, it's very strange to me that you guys made an agreement to fight, but then when it came down to the money talks, they tried to shortchange you with the money. But a day later,
I wouldn't say that the M is shortchanged. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But for the fight, I would say it's shortchanged. You know. For the magnitude. Look,
they want him to say that shit bad.
Right. Don't be nice. Don't be too nice.
For sure. For the magnitude of that fight, you know what I asked for it wasn't, you know, nothing that they couldn't have gave me. You feel me? Like everybody wanted to fight. You know? And that's in the fight would have happened.
Right.
Exactly.
That shit would have happened.
Exactly. So with that, do you feel like they knew they were offering you what they were offering you? Do you know if this next opponent who he's fighting, Edward De Los Santos, do you know if that's the exact same contract? If they gave him what they were offering you, or did they chop that down some more? Or would you know that?
I don't even know. Yeah, I couldn't even tell you.
Because to me, it just felt strange.
Which part? That's why it's Shakur's title shot, because the champion didn't want to face Shakur and he gave her the belt. There's no spinning that. Nah, it's not. We know it's worth. Hey, look, this is the thing though. If you're listening to this conversation that I'm having when I'm speaking to y'all, I'm never a guy that's gonna tell Frank Martin what he's worth. You never heard me say, nah, yo, he shouldn't have asked for more money. I think the way he did it. If I got any because they wanted him to say that it was shortchanged, because he know it's like you almost get convinced to say that because you was just about to say it wasn't shortchanged, then you said it was. Like, so again, I can't tell him what he's worth, and I'm not here to do that. He get punched in the face, not me. So if he feels like, yo, I deserve more money, then that's something he's entitled to that. Like, I don't think people know how to have conversation no more. Like, it's not about, I can't tell him what to do. Like, and what he wants to do doesn't really make me mad like that. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, it's more me trying to get an understanding. See, people want to argue about this stuff. I don't want to argue about this stuff. This is why I'm not telling him how he should have did his business and what he is worth. I'm just allowing him to speak his piece and giving my thoughts on it, right? I don't really have an issue with nothing he did. The only thing I can think is the fact that they had an initial agreement and then you asked for more money. I'm guessing the process of that, it didn't work in their favor, because they like, yo, you hold on, you just agreed. How you asking for more money after just saying, yeah, it's that simple to understand. That's probably what just happened. That's all. It's that simple. And he's never going to be wrong for looking at a Shakur Stevenson fight as a big fight to him. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's not wrong for that, and feeling like because of that, you know, it's a high risk. He needed a little bit more money to go with that. You know what I mean? On the reward side of things, you can't fault a fighter for trying to get paid. I'm not. That's why I say I'm not here to have a duck conversation. That's corny. That's played out. This is whack. Hopefully they can fight, because at the end of the day, if we don't get a fight, you think I would much rather see these two fighting than have the conversation about who the duck is. That's corny. I would much rather the fight. So I don't care about who the duck is. I don't feel like Frank a duck. I feel like he just wanted more money in a situation where it didn't present itself for him. Those funds didn't present itself to him, so he moved on. He elected to not take the fight. That's just that simple and plain. But when you are a toxic person and you're not looking to try to understand the situation, if you're looking to blame somebody, then you're not going to have the conversation I'm having. It's very simple. I come from a place of trying to understand. Why? Because I didn't have all the information. So it makes sense to, when Frank Martin finally spoke, to let him speak up for himself. So in him speaking for himself, I'm not looking to then blame him nor Shakur Stevenson. I just want him to speak up on his behalf, which is something I felt like he should have did, and he honestly did it. So I'm cool with what he's saying. It's not about going back and forth. If you're toxic, you want to argue about this. It's nothing to argue about. There's no fight, but I still, just to close this chapter, it's only fair, in fairness, to just hear what he had to say as from his vantage point as to why the fight didn't happen. And to be perfectly honest, he didn't really tell me much that I didn't already know. I knew it was a money issue or discrepancy on his behalf, right? And he felt like he should have got more. But see, when you're toxic, you want to say, oh, well, he's trying to shortchange you. Man, get that weak shit out of here, man. Get out of here. You don't know how the money is distributed. You don't know whose pocket is cut. You don't know the inner workings of the business. So how could you say who's trying to shortchange who? That's not even a conversation for me to have. I don't care about that. That's toxic boxing talk. It's ways to have real conversations around stuff like this. It's very simple, and you allow the fighter to speak his piece without trying to jump down his throat or make him a duck just to speak his piece. That's a lame ass conversation. Frank Martin, salute to you. I'm glad you came out and spoke your piece. I as a boxing fan, I truly wish that Top Rank or the powers that be would have gave you that little that you was looking for, so we could have got that fight, because I think that would have been a hell of a fight to see. That's where I'm at. I don't care about trying to make the guys look bad. That y'all can have that. You can have who's the duck. You can have who's the bad guy. You can have who should have said this and who shouldn't have did. I don't care about none of that. All I wanted him to do is speak on his situation, that it was fair for him to speak on his own situation, and he did that. And from his vantage point, that's the only holdup. He was cool with everything, but he just needed a little bit more money, and it's all good. I don't play the blame game on my channel. That's a lame, exhausting conversation. I don't care about that. All I know is we didn't get a fight. And on Shakur Stevenson's behalf, at the end of the day, whatever he said, he said. He gonna stand on that. Frank Martin said what he said. He's gonna stand on that. The common denominator in both of them had to say is that it was a money discrepancy. So that's what I get out of this. At the end of the day, you felt like you needed a little bit more money, and it's not wrong with that, bro. It's not wrong with that. Get your bread, Frank. And Lathan, what it do, homie? How you feeling, bro? I'm gonna lie, Frank should have been fighting for that belt. Calling shots is out of his reach. Yeah, he just couldn't do it. I think the leverage that he was looking for, Fate, he just didn't have. You get what I'm saying? That's all. That's my opinion of it. I think the leverage, and I don't think it was him being unreasonable. I think the timing and the manner in which he went about trying to get more money after initial verbal agreement where everybody think everything is a go, and then you like, hold, I need more money. That's probably why it didn't come to fruition. Most of these fights with they displaying out of the ring aren't worth a 6-pack. I feel you, OJ. A lot of people need to blame and complain. That's what I'm saying. I think those are the conversations because of that people are used to having on YouTube. So when you hear somebody just having a clean conversation, you can't help but to interject toxicity into it. I'm not one of them people. I'm not down Frank Martin's throat. You get what I'm saying? Look at the title. Frank Martin speaks up. That's all. No flash, no flare. I just want y'all to hear what he said. If y'all didn't hear it, salute to Frank Martin. He spoke his piece, man. He just needed a little more I like the fact that he said that. That's funny to me. New era boxing. Salute, homie. How you feeling? Randy, what it do, homie? If I ain't catch you, taxes, trainer, manager, fight can't. That $1 million evaporates very quickly. Right. And you notice, Randy, I never said it didn't, right? I ain't never say he was wrong. Never. The only thing I would have to say for that is I will understand the tax bracket. Obviously, you got 250,000, what they say is your highest payday, and then $1 million. I get that's different, but I'm guessing you still have the same fees and people to pay with that 250. So I would think that's not no money either. If people are saying low ball, I think I'm gonna just be honest. I think that's that toxic shit. Like I am in no position to tell somebody what they should offer Frank Martin. I am in no position sitting on my chair to tell Frank Martin what he is worth at home. So before I even get to what's a low ball and what's not, there's so much more of the business as me as a man that I would want to understand before I could be comfortable pushing what's a low ball and what's not. That's me though. Yeah, so the people that push that, they can have at it. I can care less. I can't tell them what they felt like he was worth and what they wanted to offer him. I can't tell Frank Martin what he felt like he deserved to get paid. So that's just me. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I just know he don't have a ton of leverage to back up that he deserves much more of anything, considering that what they did offer you. And I'm pretty sure that's what they looked at it as. I'm offering you 4 times as much as you've ever been paid. He's looking at the magnitude of the fight and feeling like, look, because of that, the magnitude, I deserve more. They're looking at it as, hey, look, not only did you verbally agree, but what you verbally agreed on is 4 times more than you've ever been paid in your career. So again, it's easy to see where they butted heads at. It's easy to see where the disconnect came at. But again, if you're sitting here trying to tear the fighter down or make one fighter look bad, that's that toxic conversation for clicks and views. I'm telling you, I'm not corny like that. I'm going to grow the slow way. That's not the way I'm going to push it, by tearing into fighters. That's weak. It's corny and it don't get nowhere. It's a redundant conversation. Frank Martin is within his right to try to get more money, and they within their rights to say, hey man, we offered you what we was going to offer you, and you said yeah, and we out of here. And that's just that simple. On to the next. You get what I'm saying? On to the next. right. Aisha, salute, Queen. How you feeling today? Mr. M Pride, how you feeling? What it do, homie? How you feeling, bro? You already know. Appreciate you as always, homie. He didn't duck. He wanted more money and didn't get it. Right. Talk to him. That's all. And I just wanted, and again, the reason why I played this, because I didn't, all this other stuff was speculation before. And he did say a couple things, like he did speak on, he's not leaving Derrick James. So he did shoot that rumor down that was out there. People saying he was leaving Derrick James. He's not going anywhere. He said he got the same team. So it is what it is. And at the end of the day, he just felt like he needed more money. You get what I'm saying? It's simple and plain. You know what I mean? But I like to let the horse speak for himself. You know what I'm saying? So this is almost done, bro. I'm gonna let this go for a couple more minutes and I'm done with this. See what else he had to say.
Let me tell you.
Because to me, it just felt strange that when you said, "No, hold up, wait a minute," there was no, let's talk about it, let's negotiate. Right. It was none of that.
I agree.
It was just the fight is off, and then a day later, it's Edward De Los Santos.
Right.
It just seems strange to me. I don't know. Right. It's just me. I don't know. I'm gonna get some of these super chats in. I don't know if people have. Man.
But that's that, man. That's pretty much that. That's the part that we really needed to hear, if anything. And look, salute to Frank Martin. Salute to the Queens of the Ring. They did a great job, Salute to them for the interview. Dope, nice build, man. Again, y'all, I'm different. I'm gonna keep making sure people understand that when I do things, I'm not coming from an angle of trying to find a way to make this fighter look like less than. Other people have those conversations because they're not that creative. It's just that simple for me. You get what I'm saying? Man, I'm always trying to understand the situation where I don't have all the answers. So that's all this was with this. You allow both guys. Shakur was very vocal about his side of things. He felt how he felt. You take it or leave it. You can hate it, love it, do whatever you will with it, right? It's only fitting to allow Frank Martin to then come and speak his piece, like for conversation purposes, right? I didn't interview him, but I level with what he said. At the end of the day, he feels like this is a big fight, and they know that. And because of that, he feels like, yo, I could get a little bit more money. I know I ain't trying to break the bank. As a man, I can understand that. So no, I don't have to feel like, man, you a duck, you this and that. Now I understand why people gonna go there. I get that. But for me, with me just being a fair guy, a straight shooter, I don't have to decide if he a duck or not. I will let the information decide that. It's not for me to come here and try to convince y'all that he's a duck or he's not a duck. It's just to put the information out there and process it in a fair manner, a real manner. So again, I'm not looking to call him out his name. And Shakur said how he felt. At the end of the day, he a fighter. He could get in there and do something about it. I'm not going to call Frank Martin that. I don't feel like that about Frank Martin. I think he a hell of a fighter. I think he's going to keep being that, right? My thing is I want to see who we going to fight next, man. I think when it all boils down, it's unfortunate that the business of boxing, if you will, got in the way of this fight coming to fruition, right? Because this would, like, when it's all said and done, this would have been a very good fight for us to watch. So we miss out. So I hate the fact that we miss out on the fight, and people rather talk about the rhetoric and the BS that surrounded why the fight didn't happen. And again, it moved you further away from real boxing talk. Like this would have, from a tactical standpoint, skill wise, this would have been a fun fight to watch. You can't deny this would have been fun for us to watch. If Frank Martin and Shakur getting into it, but again, it didn't happen. Now I would like to see who we gonna get in there next, because when it all boils down, it's a missed opportunity for him. I'm not telling him it's an opportunity of a lifetime. I'm not telling him what's money to him. Maybe he feels like this opportunity will come later on if he just keep working. You never know, right? So he's entitled to make a decision that he's going to live with this, right? He might look at it like, look, I'm going to just keep winning and that opportunity going to come and it'll be worth more money. I'm not here to bash him. Maybe that's the way he thinks. So he going to go do what he do. And, November 16th, you got De Los Santos, which I think is going to be a damn good fight, man. It's going to be a fun fight to watch as well. So that's where I'm at now, man. Salute to Frank Martin. I just wanted him to speak his piece. He said stock just went up from the situation, honestly. Oh, Frank name rose more from the situation? Maybe. Which would be a good thing, if it did, because I'm not against Frank Martin. You get what I'm saying? Just because I feel like Shakur beat him don't mean I'm against him. I want to see him win. So if his stock rose in any type of way, his profile rose in any type of way from this situation, that's good for boxing. That's good. Salute to Frank Martin. Shelton, what's good with it, bro? How you feeling? Bro. He said, "Chat, does anyone here have an average price for Alvarez for Charlo tickets? I need a ballpark." I know what to spend. I'm just like, y'all know. So he just gonna slide in here. He trying to flex on us, chat. He trying to flex on us, chat. He just letting us know he gonna be in the building. That's all. He just rubbing it in for those who's not gonna be able to make it or can't make it for one reason or another. That's what Sheldon doing right now. He know he could have went, looked it up, or he gonna come in here and try to flex on us, the good people of the chat, man. Y'all smash the like button. Show you ain't no good, bro. You ain't no good, fam. You ain't no good for that. Right. You know it, man. Talk to him, D1. We all we do over here is get some straightening. Now, if y'all want to go into who's the bad guy, have at it. That's draining for me. I like to get an understanding of a situation and just move on. That's all. You know what I mean? Shakur be looking at this guy for lies. Yeah, man, Shakur's a liar, man. One thing that don't lie, though, Joe, is that ring. The ring don't lie. Boxing matchups, D-Free, my brother. What's good, D-Free? That ring don't lie. That's all that count, bro. The ring never lies. The ring never lies. You know? Man, salute to Frank Martin, man. I like Frank Martin. I'm going to keep supporting him. Unfortunate end to a fight that would have been a damn good one, man. Salute to him, man. Hopefully he get a good, meaningful opportunity. But like I said, I don't think a title shot will be in his next immediate fight. I think this is a slightly missed opportunity. But like I said, if he's to keep winning, man, you know, he'll find himself with another meaningful opportunity sooner than later. That's all. You know what I mean? I did look it up. Didn't like what I saw. It's too raised. They get crazy out there. Tells if David Shakur. Talk to him, Joe. That ride for your boy, man. You got to ride for your boy. Got to ride for your boy. But it's something else too. I ain't gonna spend too much time. Yeah, Frank will get another opportunity, and that's all. And that's what it's about. Like I'm past the conversations where you gotta go try to make a fighter look like something. Like, nah, it didn't work out. He had his reasons, man. I just do my best to try to understand that and talk about it in a fair manner, man. Salute to Frank, man. Crazy for a prize fighter who fights for money to go into negotiations and fight for more money, right? And you get what I'm saying? Nothing at all wrong with that, bro. None at all. Said Rob Regis talking so crazy. Regis ready to put them fisticuffs to your boy. Hold on, because we gonna move on, man. Again, salute to Frank Martin, man. Closing that chapter, man. Hopefully, like, you know, maybe, you know, I'm the fight fan in me wish that they could revisit that fight at a later time and really make it happen, because it'll damn sure be a good fight to watch. But on to the next, man. On to the next. And Regis, yeah, man. Regis ready. Dre's finest. What it do, homie? How you feeling, bro? Appreciate you stopping through. I like what Regis talking. Me too. I like Regis, man. He make it fun, bro. He make boxing fun, don't he? Regis be talking that talk, man. You know he ain't playing either, Joe. He coming for your boy. You coming for your boy. Now that's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a good test for both dudes, man. I'm glad they got a date and they switched on. I know Dev training. He a gym rat anyway. Regis, he been putting in his work. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I think Regis gonna be on his A game, which is gonna, you know, cause Dev to be on his A game as well. And I think we're gonna get a real good fight when it's all said and done. Hold on, I'm about to pull that up right now. Give me a second. Regis, he got power, right? Regis acting new. I think you just seen camp mode, Regis, Joe. You seen camp mode, Regis, that's all. You just seen camp mode, Regis, man. He just he responded because he wants smoke.
If I'm reading the clues, you're training for a fight.
I'm training for Devin Haney.
Is December 9th still happening?
December 9th looking like that's what's gonna be. It's gonna happen. I think they're gonna try to announce it. I don't know when, but yeah, December 9th. That's what it's looking like. So I'm training for December 9th. I mean, I've been training for this. You know, at first we had the dates was kind of mixed up. It was supposed to be like October 28th. Then I signed for November 11th. And now they say December 9th is the date, so I've been locked in ever since. So I'm just, you know, ready.
I heard it was San Francisco. Is that still the case?
Yeah, it's going to be in San Francisco. Yep.
I know you fought all over the world and all over the United States as well too.
There you go, Regis.
You've been really wanting that breakout fight for yourself.
Right.
let's talk about the magnitude of this moment for you and everything that you've worked for leading up to this and this fight with Devin Haney.
Yeah, man, I feel like, you know, it's definitely past my time. You know, I mean, I think you know, I'm a 2-time world champion and I still don't get the recognition I deserve, you know, but I think this fight is the fight that's gonna kind of, you know, put me on the map where I belong. You know what I mean? Like I said, usually you become a champion, you get the recognition, then you become a 2-time champion, you get the recognition, but, you know, my role hasn't been easy. My role has always been kind of bumpy. So, but I feel like this fight is the fight that's going to, you know, really put me on the map like it's supposed to be.
Do you feel like you might be the fighter that kind of brings Devin Haney down a little bit as far as his stock? I know after that Lomachenko.
I feel like I'm going to stop. I feel like I'm going to stop straight up. I definitely, it's no, for me, just how much I've been working ever since they say his name, I've been working. So I definitely feel like there's nothing he gonna do to stop me. I feel like I'm gonna stop him. I really feel like it's gonna be a massacre, and I feel like I'm gonna hurt him. That's it. Like I feel like I'm gonna hurt him.
I feel like the promotion for this fight will be pretty big too. You guys both like to talk.
Right.
You don't shy away from the brash talk.
I've been trying to be quiet,
put them on right.
Somebody talk to me, you know, but it's just that's my I guess that's just my attitude. But yeah, I think the promotion gonna be it's gonna be something nice.
With Devin Haney, why do you think he's a beatable fighter? Why do you think you're the guy who's gonna outclass him in this fight?
I mean, I feel like his punch resistance is just not there. You know, I just feel like, you know, he's a good boxer, but he had a lot of close calls. You know, I feel like Loma beat him. I definitely feel like Loma beat him.
So with the Lomachenko fight, why do you think Devin didn't look
like
too good?
Loma beat him, he said he's gonna hurt him. Okay.
Picked it up on him. I mean, I feel like early rounds, you know, Devin was trying to go to the body, jab to the body and stuff, and he did some stuff good early rounds, but I felt like Loma just stepped it up on him and just hit him with, for me, actually the cleaner shots. I definitely feel, I mean, and that's what boxing, professional boxing is about. It's not the amateurs who are, you know, you get you get more softer shots. No, it's about the harder shot. You get bigger, harder shots. I feel like Loma landed a bigger, harder punch.
He better for like cutting off the ring.
Devin got it. Devin undisputed.
Zhang had a spot. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. This short, yo. This short. This ain't long.
I feel like I'm hurt.
Do you think, not to say that he's cherry picking, but he's going up from 135 to 140 to fight you, one of the top dogs in the division.
I respect him for that. I definitely respect him, his team for that. You know, obviously, you know, they're going off my last performance, but that's cool, man. I'm glad because if I would have went out there and blast Gorilla in 1 or 2 rounds, I wouldn't be getting this fight. You know, I'll be fighting somebody else. So I'm glad that, you know, it's a blessing to me that I didn't look that good against Gorilla. He ran around the whole time, didn't look that good, and now I got a super fight. And you know, that's what boxing is about right now. And I'm glad that we are in the era right now of the super fights. You know, you got JERMELL and CANELO fighting. You had Ryan and Tank. You had Spence and Crawford. You had Deontay Wilder and Fury. So right now we in the era of the super fights, and you know, this is just another super fight on the line.
It sounds like you're going to stay at 140 for a while to get all these.
I'm saying 140.
To get all these other big fights too.
Yeah, I'm saying 140. Yeah, listen. Another thing, I really feel I could be the face of boxing in 2 fights. We got Devin, and then after that, it should be something even bigger. But obviously, not looking past Devin. But still, I feel like in 2 fights, I could potentially be the biggest face in boxing.
So who would that follow-up performance be if everything goes right with Devin?
Wow.
I mean, it's so many big performances out there. First off, I have to dominate Devin. You can't be the face if you don't dominate, right? So I feel like I would have to dominate. And then after that, you know, maybe, of course, Ryan, Javante, T.O., those are 3 big names that could beat up for me. But obviously, right now, I have to focus on Devin.
Let's talk about the training camp switch. You're here in Los Angeles now.
2 fights to get the face of boxing, which I think, man.
What is that like? Was it the last performance that you want to change things up a little bit?
Julian was their last performance, but you know, I worked with Julian like literally 4 days. You know, like 4 days in camp, and then he came home.
Because said it's nothing super about the fight.
So, that's not the time that we actually working. 4 days it won't really be nothing. We work and stuff, but it's, you know, it won't really be nothing. So that's why, and you know, I come out here, I come to LA to work with Julian and just to get away from all the stuff, the family life and all that. Like at home, like I got 3 kids, so I'm like a super dad. I do all the stuff with my kids. My kids have practice every day, school, daycare, like activities, birthday parties. So, you know, right now my wife, she could do all that stuff.
We're gonna talk about that too. This almost over,
yeah. Training, that's it. Focus on training Devin Haney, that's it.
Gotcha. With the 135ers, who you think Tank would step up to 140 to fight you?
I think if the money was right, I think so. You know, I think, like I said, man, I feel like I could be after this. it's it's so many big names out there for me. But I just got to do this first, and then it'll be some big shit after this.
You were in the World Boxing Super Series final, Josh Taylor going overseas. That was a big magnitude fight for you. You're a world title holder. Do you perhaps feel the same kind of pressure, different kind of pressure? What is it now, 4 years later?
Well, no, it's not the same. I mean, listen, I am going. He's
from
San Francisco, the Bay Area, but at the same time, like I got roots in LA too. Like
he talking about dominating. He got a tough task. I don't think Dad's gonna be no easy picker to be dominated. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I don't feel the pressure. It's not going to different countries.
Just his natural style is going. He's gonna present issues. He ain't gonna make it easy. Even if he was to lose,
just like he would have. I have a lot of people there too, so I don't think it's gonna be no pressure. Not like the stuff in London. It won't be like that.
Lastly, any last words for your fans?
Man, tune in. Thank y'all for.
Man, that was real quick. Straight to the point. That's a fight that's coming up December 9th. I'm glad they got it sealed. They both on the same page. Ain't no more talks about who ain't signed a contract. Ain't no more fake duck narratives and none of that. Those two dudes gonna go in there and mix it up. I think it's a good fight for both. It's a good fight for 140. Dad, for his first fight at 140, not even acclimating. Like I said before, as much respect to him for taking that fight. I can't wait to see it. I'm gonna tune in. I don't got no dog in the race. May the best man win. Like I said, man, I think it's all about preparation for both guys. I think that's going to be real key, as it is key in any other fight, right? But I think more so in this fight, right? Well, I say preparation because you got a guy in Regis that, we seen just have an issue with a guy that was mobile in there that was, giving a movement, right? So he seemed to have an issue with cutting the ring off consistently. Right, and doing the right things once he did cut the ring off, right? The times he did do it, because he did get a knockdown in that fight, in his last fight, but he didn't look too good overall, right? So he got to prepare. I think his preparation is key for this fight. And then if you're Devin Haney, you got a guy that you fight in Regis Prograis that wants to be a pressure fighter. No doubt he's coming to fight, not box. So I think Devin Haney got to prepare to make the boxer have to fight him. You get what I'm saying? I think that's key. I think the moments and any time that Devin Haney can, keep it being a boxing match, a chess match sort of, kind of pace. I think that's, that's to his advantage. I think if it's, moments where they're fighting, if it's a fight, I think that's advantage for Regis. It's real simple for me. It's going to be a matter if he can deal with, Devin Haney's jab. He's very disciplined with using that jab, his movement, his legs, like, his mobility, things like that. He's going to have issues, you know what I'm saying? Cutting the ring off consistently because Dev won't be a sitting target. He's going to box and move, and I suspect that will be the game plan to keep him on the outside, keep him at the end of the jab and box him. And Regis is going to have to cut the ring. You get what I'm saying? Close the gap and do damage, and it's not going to be easy. You in there with a young, disciplined fighter that arguably could be a little bit fresher coming up to that weight class. You're not the youngest guy, so you ain't no spring chicken, but make no mistake about it, I still look at this as like a 50-50 type fight where either guy really could win. But like I keep saying, man, I think preparation is going to be very important, man, because it's simple. Are you prepared to deal with a guy that's going to present a moving target with a very good jab, a good right hand? You get what I'm saying? And just an elusive guy. You get what I'm saying? Young, he be in very good shape. Devin Haney do so. You're going to have to deal with that, and you might have to deal with that for 12 rounds. Are you prepared? Are you prepared to deal with a guy that can box and move for 12 rounds? You get what I'm saying? And be very disciplined at doing it. And don't care if it's what people call a boring fight. That's what he got to deal with. If they're just cutting right through the BS, that's what I feel like he's up against. You know what I'm saying? A young, disciplined fighter that's very good with the tools that he do have. And it's going to be hard to, it's going to be hard to crack that code. It's not going to be easy. He's going to be on the move. He's going to be elusive. I believe he'll go to his body in spots. I definitely think he's going to try to keep the jab in his face and keep him at distance. I think that's the best, game plan for him. If he does something different than that, then I'd be surprised. But I just think he's going to be smart. And I think that's advantage for Devin too. You know what I mean? He's going to utilize the IQ, and he don't care about no boos and no oohs and ahs. It's his job to, take Regis fans out of the fight. You know what I'm saying? By fighting a smart, disciplined fight, not being I think greedy, not being on the front foot. I don't see him on the front foot at all much for this fight. You know what I mean? Maybe in some spots he will be, but for the most part, I see him having to box and move, and I can see that being a real challenge for Regis. And that's where his biggest challenge lies is, you know, not just being shorter, the shorter reach. You get what I'm saying? Falling short with that jab. He be reaching sometimes with it. I can see him getting caught and countered. You get what I'm saying? I think he might be at a speed disadvantage. You get what I'm saying? There's some things. Dev got the faster feet for sure, the better feet, you would think. So Regis got his work cut out for him for sure, man. You got to deal with that young kid, man. He's going to be, you know, very determined, man, to win. You know what I'm saying? He got him some ton of experience in there with the 12 rounds against Lomachenko. He'll have that to take with him in there in another meaningful fight that could be tough for him. So we're going to see how he deal with it. But I think that's really the fight, man. That's where the biggest challenges for both guys lie. You know what I mean? Is he going to be able to deal with the pressure of Regis? Will the pressure of the older veteran fighter get to him? You get what I'm saying? Or will he be able to use his youth and his legs and his length and athleticism to outbox this guy and his jab? You get what I'm saying? That pinpoint jab that he like to use. So I think that's his ticket to victory. You get what I'm saying? Constantly keeping the jab in Regis' face, offsetting him, you know what I'm saying? Disrupting his timing, things like that, and not being stationary. You get what I'm saying? But no, I think giving him different looks too, because although, you know, the guy has issues a little bit with guys that move, you don't want to keep presenting and giving them the same looks over and over, because, you know, I do think Regis is clever enough and good enough to, you know, catch on if you continuously doing the same thing over and over. So we'll see. I think he'll be better prepared for Devin Haney than he was for Zarilla, and I think a lot of people forget. He might didn't look his best against Zarilla, but you got to keep in mind that that wasn't his initial opponent. Remember, he was about to fight a whole totally different guy. So that was a replacement opponent at that. You get what I'm saying? And that was a guy that has some deceptive power and that can box and move pretty good. He just didn't offer that much offensively. So I think he, you know, Regis just wasn't as prepared as he could be if that was just his opponent from the start to finish. You get what I'm saying? Instead of it being a replacement opponent and a tricky guy at that. So I don't hold that last performance against Regis. I think it's a reason why that's the only fight that you can go to where you could say he really didn't look like himself. Even in a close loss against Josh Taylor, he gave him hell and had his eye looking all types of crazy. So, and that was a war. That was a hell of a tactical but war type of fight. And you know what I mean? He just lost it. You know what I mean? It could have went either way, in my opinion. But the dude is definitely a top guy, in my opinion, at 140. Yeah, he's getting older. You get what I'm saying? He does have some deficiencies. Like I said, he does struggle with guys that just can move flat out, right? And I think them short arms are gonna be somewhat of an issue for him too. You know what I'm saying? I think one thing about Dev and being very disciplined, he knows how to utilize his length. You know, the height and reach. You get what I'm saying? Height don't fight, but reach can teach. And I'm telling you, I see a heavy dose of the jab for Regis from Dev. And I see how creative he is offensively and how comfortable he is going in his tool bag against a guy with the kind of firepower that Regis got, right? That's what's going to be interesting to me. Not just the fact that he's going in there to try to win, but how impressively do he want to beat this guy, right? You know what I'm saying? What kind of statement is Devin Haney looking to make against Regis Prograis in his first fight at 140? That's what I'm going to be looking for, because make no mistake about it, he going to come in there to handle business, and he don't give it, like I say, he don't give a damn if the fight is boring. That's probably going to be in his favor. You get what I'm saying? And that's not no slight against him, but that means he will be taking a lot of play in those moments away from Regis being able to land those big punches that will put him in any type of danger, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how Regis navigates the ring in these rounds dealing with a guy that's young, and that's going to be able to move and be in condition well enough to move for those 12 rounds and box you as well. So you get what I'm saying? So, and to be real with you, I'm not a guy that feels like the very first time he gets hit by Regis is over or something like that. I'm not that guy, but it's how often Regis is able to land a glove on him clean, like a good shot. It's how often he's able to land them shots, right? I don't think it'll be no just the first time he touch him. Nah, I don't think that. I think Regis gonna have to work. You get what I'm saying? Devin Haney be in shape, so you're gonna have to deal with that guy. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's really about preparation, man, and focus and execution, application. Those are things that come to mind with this fight, man. Apply yourself the right way. How you gonna approach this fight? Do you know what his strengths are, and do you know what you need to do to take him away from him in the ring? You get what I'm saying? I think that's what you need to do. You know what I mean? And again, it's no secret as to what he's gonna do out there. You get what I'm saying? I think it would be stupid for him to try to fight you on the inside. You got the shorter arms, and you're the more physical guy, the bigger punch. I just don't think that would be an advantage for him to be on the inside with you much. You know what I mean? I think when he do get in close, I think he will try to tie up intelligently and you know, cause the ref to reset them and go back to work. I think, you know, Regis is gonna have to be well prepared for this kid to you know, the box. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what's key. I think whether, you know, we all know Regis calls himself a fighter, and he say he ain't coming in the box, and he coming in to hurt you, and you know, that's cool. But I think even with that being his MO and his natural, you know, order of things, the way he thinks, the way he goes about getting his business done, I think he still has to be well prepared to box, because I think it would be foolish for him to think that he's going to be able to force this to be a fight for 12 rounds completely, right? You get what I'm saying? Because if that was the case, I don't think he would need 12 rounds in this fight, but it would be silly of him to think that he's not going to have to find a way to box with this kid. You get what I'm saying? Now, you might be at a disadvantage, especially from the outside, but you're going to have to find a way to box with him, because that's the issues that he's going to present for you. And it's up for you to make the boxer fight you. You get what I'm saying? If you can make him fight you, that's an advantage for you. The longer he keep you boxing with him, it's an advantage for him. It's just quite simple. You know what I mean? It's always easier said than done, but that's how I see that fight going. It could be a tale of two halves. Either you're going to struggle with the jab, the mobility, them legs, the energy of the young Dev, the discipline. You get what I'm saying? And again, I want to see if he's willing to make a statement or try to make a statement against this dude, because I think it's important, man. It's important. You don't just want to win. You want to win impressively, right? So you want to like leave no doubt. You don't want to keep, you know, every time you're in a meaningful fight or a 50-50 type fight, you leave doubt, right? Your last fight. And if we both being honest in this, again, salute to bro for bringing this up. It's something that I didn't think about and think to mention, should I say. Both of these guys, they're not like they're both coming off the greatest of performances. The magnitude of that Lomachenko was, that's a, you know, a good hell of a name on a resume and things like that, but he didn't have his best performance. That was his closest fight, if we're being honest. And then you, outside of Regis' loss, right? Outside of that loss, not counting that loss, that fight with Zorilla was what? His most competitive fight, or where he just didn't look his best. Now, it's not that Dev looked bad, but he didn't. That's not his best performance. That's not the best version of Devin Haney in the ring. But I mean, you will want to believe that, right? So you know, a 7-5 type of fight is not his best outing, right? You get what I'm saying? That was his closest fight for a reason. It was his most competitive fight for a reason. So if we're being honest, it's not to slight him in no way. He overcame. He did what he was supposed to do. He got the job done, and I always said that. But both of those guys are coming off performances that wasn't their best. You get what I'm saying? Where people have questions. Because you would be a damn lie if you said you watched Devin Haney and Lomachenko and you have no questions as it pertains to the side of Devin Haney. You will be a liar, and you would just be being a fan. You will be a damn liar if you say you had no questions at all coming out of that Lomachenko fight. And that doesn't mean he can't get it done, but it's okay to have questions and see some things where he just need to fix some areas of concern is what I'm saying. That's just being fair, being real. Hell with being fair, you're being real. And it's the same thing with Regis. You've seen some things that Zorilla was doing well that you know Devin Haney will be able to emulate, that if he had the same type of problem that he had against Zorilla with Devin Haney, he's going to be in for a long-ass night. You get what I'm saying? Just being real. So it's an intriguing matchup. It's two totally different styles, man. You got the boxer and you got the fighter, to me, and the puncher. And may the best man win. It's gonna be an interesting fight for both guys, man. But Regis is damn sure gonna have to be prepared to box. And dare I say, even Devin Haney in spots, he might have to be prepared to fight with Regis, because that's the kind of guy he is. Salute to my queen, Miss Just Do. She said, "Keep cooking. We are on
and we ain't never
job.
got to box again." Well, right. well. I already been getting these, but now it's time for you to get your Just Do.
He can't watch Loma versus Devin and think Tank can tap whatever he wants on Devin. I'm telling you. Dr. Mark, salute to the OG. Appreciate you stopping through. How you feeling, Dr. Mark? Who was Regis training against? He has flipped the board over to win. You got to flip the board over, and we gonna see. we gonna see. I tell you what, he just got to be prepared. You know what I mean? You got to be prepared to hit a moving target, to cut off the ring, to be disciplined, to be consistent, right? To be in shape. All those things got to be true, to be in very tip-top shape. You get what I'm saying? Because Devin Haney's always in very good shape. That's another part of, you know, his game, his element to his game that makes him who he is, his condition. I think he has pretty damn good condition, and he'd be really good shape. And like I said, you know, one could only think with him being at 140, closer to where he should be at in weight, right? More comfortable there. He could be a bit stronger physically. Who knows? You got to, it's like a wait and see type of thing. I'm not saying going to transform and be some ox in the ring or, you know, some power puncher, but, you know, you can see he could be a little bit healthier so he could find himself feeling a little bit stronger at the weight. We're going to have to wait and see. It's going to be interesting to see how, you know, what he performs like, because a lot of people now taking into account this is his first fight at 140. It ain't like he took 2 fights to acclimate and then say, oh, I'm going to fight Regis now. He going straight to the smoke. So I respect it. I like it. I like the fight for him. And it's coming off of his most tested win, right? So he's just coming off a test where he learned a ton. I'm pretty sure he learned some things in that Loma fight, you know what I mean, that he can take with him. Not saying they're the same type of fighter, but just for experience in the hat type of thing. That's good for him. So, I mean, I see him trying to build his profile. To me, in my opinion, Lomachenko was a 50-50 type fight, and I think Regis would be that same type of fight. That's how you carve out a nice legacy for yourself. You give these people 50-50 fights and competitive fights, right? Fighting guys that we feel like is dangerous and got a real shot at beating you. And that's what he doing. He fought Loma. People felt like that fight could go either way. He's fighting Regis. Some people feel like that fight could go either way as well. Those the type of fights that you want to see. Then for Loma, if he would have boxed Loma would have been in real trouble. I think he could have made moments. I think he could have took some of those moments away from Snoopy, to some of those moments that Loma had, because he had his mind made up to try to fight him a certain way. And he wanted to I think he just wanted to be more physically imposing against Loma. And I think he, you know, some resistance came with that. Loma definitely put up some resistance. Can't lose. I just haven't seen it. Yeah, man. Because he 30-0, bro. 30-0. You ain't seen it. I ain't seen it. You ain't seen him lose in the ring. I haven't. That has more power now. He could. You know, until we just run to the smoke, man. That'd be a good fight, though. Him and Tio would be a very good fight. Nah, he do got some of the best condition in the game. I could appreciate all fighters, bro. I don't mind giving guys I got you, bro. Definitely. Always, bro. Always. I don't mind giving Dev his flowers, bro, when he deserves it. He bring a lot of discipline to the fight game. Very disciplined fighter, man. Stays in shape pretty much. You know what I mean? I know people say he blow up in between camps, but he human. I'm talking about when it's time to fight, the dude is always in the best shape possible, I believe. You know what I'm saying? So he brings that to the sport. It's a ton of discipline. It's a lot to like there. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't got to have the best style or to be, you know what I mean, the most exciting, but I could appreciate what he is because I feel like I understand what he brings to the table. And that's pure boxing. He's a chess player, you know what I mean? And he's at one of the highest levels doing it, I believe. You get what I'm saying? He's of that elite level talent, you know what I mean? That's where he at. I know not to go into his fight, you know, hoping to see, you know, bunch of vicious punches and knockouts. You get what I'm saying? I know I'm coming to see pure boxing, discipline, a display of the sweet signs. That's what I'm looking for. Footwork. You get what I'm saying? He gonna box your ass for 12 rounds if he got to. You know what I'm saying? And I don't knock him for that, because I know everybody can't be a KO artist, right? And that, you get what I'm saying? I feel like I understand what I'm watching with him, so I know how to enjoy what he brings to the table without having to knock him. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, that's gonna be a good fight coming up in December. Now I can't wait to see it. But we had some good fights over the weekend that I ain't touch on, man. That I wanted to touch on just a little bit I did talk about the ZHANG and JOYCE fight, but some people feeling like he should retire. I'm not. I know Frank Warren said it anyway. He feel like Joe Joyce need to consider retirement. I'm not one to call for people careers. I mean, I know back-to-back knockout losses is always bad. It's never a good thing for your career, and the second one was worse than the first. But I think it's before he had called it quits, I think he need to consider the fact that he was just in there with the better guy, somebody that had his number. And I think the areas where he lacked, you got a guy like ZHANG on the other side. Is just he knows what you do. And again, ZHANG said he had spies in the camp or something like that. So he said he knew that Joe Joyce was practicing on circling away from the left. He said he knew he would do that. So that I don't know who the spies in the camp was, but he said he had it there doing it the right way. Right, man. Right. But you know what, Snoopy? A lot of these fighters, Snoopy, get called clout chasers for doing what they're supposed to do. Right. That's why I don't even like the word clout chaser, especially when you're a quality fighter and you've proven that you could fight. You get what I'm saying? I think, and I hate to single people out. Thomas, what it do, homie? How you feeling, bro?
Oh, you know you got the best hand. Just, man, I just came up in here just to circle back on a couple of things you touched on, but I'm gonna let you finish your thought before I have to interject.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, I just don't care for the clout chaser term, because again, I think it's been so misused that I don't really see it. Don't hold value to me. It's like that when you call somebody a duck. Like, you could really never turn down and fight somebody and still say you're a duck. If the business don't work itself out and we don't get a fight, somebody got to be a duck. It can't be the business didn't work. Nah, somebody's a duck. I just don't think it hold value no more. And clout chasing, I think these dudes be known from as kids and very young. Like, the last thing they need is to attach themselves to people named. And if you think about it, when we really saying clout, how is one fighter bringing up another guy really going to do anything for his career unless people don't already know him, and because he said a name, it's brought a significant level of attention to him? You've never seen that. That's just not how boxing. That is not enough clout. Nobody can give nobody the clout like that. The real clout is getting in there and beating people. I keep saying that all the time. I don't know about that public perception. That shit means nothing. When you could have the whole social media on your side, man. You get in the ring and get dusted off, man. Reality will settle in. None of that stuff matters. It's only what you do in the ring. That's where the real clout is at. So, not calling people names out, even if you have no intent on fighting them, I think it's weak at best. But just clout, like, you're not gonna steal that person's clout by mentioning their name. In fact, you might bring a lot of negativity to your situation by, aligning yourself with somebody's name, especially if people feel like you have no intent on fighting them. So I just don't think it'd be clout chasing all the time with these dudes. I just think people forget that they competitive and they're going to speak. They're young. Think about it. They got social media at their disposal. People see stuff, they react and respond to it. You heard Frank Martin. Look, he the quietest guy. You don't know a more quiet guy than Frank Martin in boxing, right? Even him just said he had to respond to people. So everybody do it. It's just they get overly criticized for being human. And it's like, yeah, you want them to grow and you want them to do better and learn, but you still got to consider these dudes as young, man. These dudes young and figuring it out, man. And I think it's just entertainment at the end of the day, man. I don't think it's, clout chasing all the time when somebody mentioned another guy's name. You know what I mean? Thomas, what it do, homie? What's good, though? Thomas and Joe?
Let's talk about Dead putting 140 on notice. All these niggas at 135 ain't no shit no more.
Nah, the only one.
Well, let's talk about that.
Nah, Richardson Hitchens put 140 on notice.
Yeah, he put Devin in particular on notice as well.
Hey, y'all only watching that because of what? Y'all only watching that because of what? Because I ain't hear about Richard until Dev get up there. So Dev make all the divisions hot.
Jonathan, nobody was hating on Shakur until he mentioned Dev.
Yeah.
Let's get it correct. Because if you're saying that nobody was talking about him since he's been a silver medalist, like, people don't, it's easy to follow their careers. Like, first fight was televised. Like, it's easy to follow his career. So people been knowing who he was. And again, I don't want to get into trying to compare them.
I ain't know that.
But I'm going to say this and I'm going to mean it because it's a fact. I'm going to just speak on what I know is a fact. He don't struggle to sell tickets when he fight. Is he a pay-per-view star? No, he ain't never.
How much is he selling his tickets
about that, right? but he don't struggle to sell tickets. So when people make it seem like don't nobody know him, that's just something that people want to push. Like when he fight, people show up and people watch, whether it's on free TV.
But ain't his tickets on StubHub $300?
Yo, but Joe, ain't nobody digging that dead when they say that, bro. We just going by numbers.
Yeah. I ain't saying nothing. Notice I ain't even bring him up. I just say what I know is the fact.
300 is a way
struggle to
different.
sell tickets. So he don't need.
He just talking about budget.
Yeah, he don't need the clout of another fighter to be relevant, and his skill set is the reason why people speak of him so highly. Like I said, I see at least 2 or 3 times a week a different post with somebody mad about a compliment that somebody is making to Shakur Stevenson. If that's not hate, I don't know what it is. Why is what another person think about a fighter got people mad? But if there's somebody was up there praising Devin Haney, it would be like, yeah, you see, look what he said. But it's on the other end, why they praising him? He ain't you do sound like haters. I like Devin Haney, so I don't get into them little weird conversations. But it's some real. Y'all dislike these fighters. I don't know these dudes.
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback off of that too.
I'm not gonna lie for them. I'm not gonna put on no cape. I'm not doing. I don't know these dudes. Like if I know you personally, I'm still not doing it. How about that? I'm not capping for nobody. I'm not lying for anybody. I got a perspective. If you don't agree with it, be like, yeah, I see it differently. But that don't mean I'm lying for them.
Wait, hold up. You talking about you don't think Shakur can win?
Nah, I hear it in his voice. He know Dev gonna 12-0 that little nigga.
Oh, you just trolling.
I'm telling you right now, bro. I laugh at this conversation because y'all do it every time. There ain't no fight in boxing the more confident that ends in a victory for Shakur. There's no opponent.
I just want you not to bite your nails.
Fighter that they feel like he needs to fight. Out of all of any of those names, that guy, that's the most for sure win out of all the names.
Hey Joe, for real, Joe.
I'm positive.
For real, how do you see Devin winning? I just want to see how you gonna break down.
Yeah, talk to me since we talking about it. Look at everybody in the chat.
I really want to hear you. I believe you believe he's gonna win. I want to just know.
Yeah, I believe.
All right, this where we come. This where you got to be great at. Cause like Shakur, he a good fighter, but Dev's gonna bring out some shit that he ain't ready for. Like them niggas, they gonna be tagging each other up, but Dev gonna have that extra oomph to give it to that nigga. The footwork, that's one thing. Shakur, he a little bit flat-footed. You can't tell because he always fighting Mexicans and anime niggas, so they flat-footed too. But Shakur is flat-footed.
Says the guy that's referencing the guy that started his career in Mexico. Boom. How many Mexicans did he fight before he started fighting people you know? You better stop. Shakur ain't started his career in Mexico. He started on TV where people could see him at. Do y'all think about that? Y'all, you know what's diluted in boxing?
My nigga he didn't care.
Y'all think because he has belts that somehow that means he supersedes him in like fame or just notoriety. I don't like the fame word, notoriety. And you know why that would never be the case no matter what belt he grabbed? Because so many people know them. I think in terms of the boxing world, I think the same people know them. And I think a lot of people shared the ring with those guys and they know about this skill set that is Shakur. They know about Dev because, people give him his credit too. I told you, he's a very, very good fighter. But I think the difference between them, and I think the only way it's going to show for y'all, so y'all know it's not me just saying it, is when they fight. He's going to show you the difference between very good, very, very good.
Dev's going to show you who the next generation talent is. That's what I see. He's going to show you who that guy is.
Dev was too young for the Olympics. Yeah, he was, but he started his career in Mexico. So when you say Shakur only fighing Mexicans, you got to be careful. Your guys started over there fighting Mexicans. And don't make me.
The nigga was just too young.
I know some more facts from over there in Mexico. All them trips wasn't too good to the young man. Y'all better stop. Your boy do his homework.
Come on, give me the homework.
Take a ponder upon that resume again. Yeah, the Mexico trip.
Nah, but Joe, there are some fights that he fought that people like expunged their record, man, because they they just wanted him to get a reset. I'm not hating on that, Doug. You can't hate on that.
Nah, I'm just messing with y'all, though, man. I'm just messing with y'all. I do jokes like I'll never take real things.
They don't start over a new name anymore.
You're a real good fighter, yo.
your boy let the nigga take the gold medal from him because he didn't have enough gas in it.
But he just ain't.
He got gas tank issues.
Again,
So that nigga to work on that shit.
I'll crush it.
What's good with it, my bro? Again, man.
My nigga ain't never cried.
He
ain't never cried on stage.
Your man wouldn't have lasted. You did.
Yo, but Mike wasn't quiet on stage, bro. That just show emotion.
Sure, what Cuzzo said. She said, "How does that bad for? She need more than footwork."
I think. Look. I think the fight between Dev and Shakur will be a great fight, but I do believe in the later rounds, Shakur will start pulling away just slightly because of his technical skill set. It's kind of hard to hit him, even though you say flat-footed.
I believe it's gonna be opposite. I believe it's gonna be opposite. You just like you say you think he gonna pull out. I think Dev's gonna be the one who gonna pull out.
It's possible. Hey man, that weight cut probably was hurting Dev, so I don't know. I got to see what he looked like in this fight to really make an observation, because I know the fight will happen and take place at a higher weight. But I do know that when Shakur went up to a higher weight, you know, it was only one fight, but he definitely got him up out of there. I mean,
remember everybody was complaining, saying it was gonna be another 12 round this, and he ain't fighting nobody. Go out there and knock him out. They complain. They move the goalpost somewhere else. That's how you gonna do your boy.
So it's gonna be interesting to see how JUICE is good with
you. That's because Dev fight for belts. He don't fight for
not a boxer.
I'm not taking nothing away from Dev, bro. I root for Dev. Like I've never ever in my life rooted against Dev.
Even when he fights Shakur, I won't be rooting against him. I just think Shakur is gonna win. If you understand what I'm saying. I don't root against fighters. I like these guys, but I can say one guy or the other is gonna win. But I don't like to feel like if I supported you for years on end, I'm not necessarily rooting against you when it's two guys I like. It's just I feel like one or the other might win. That's all that is.
But I just want to know how
y'all gonna make me root against him. That's why he's gonna get his ass kicked.
How do you see? Do you just see him cutting the ring from Shakur, or you see him putting the action?
Them niggas gonna fight. Them niggas gonna be fighting.
Cutting the ring in front of each other.
Them niggas gonna be fighting just like that sparring shit. Them niggas gonna be fighting. Ain't no goddamn cutting the ring off when you got two superior boxers. What you gotta do? You gotta fucking fight.
I just feel like
so then
no cutting the ring off. After
when it comes down to it, right? When it comes down to it, right?
Okay.
One guy is just a lot more vocal about what he'll do to the other guy, and I don't want to hear because he don't talk or he move in silence. No the hell he don't. What he do is tweet every single time Tank fight and say hate and shit that people don't call out. But that's another story. The dude has nothing, no type of smoke for Shakur for real. Besides, y'all do more fighting for him, and notice that all this talking only came about when he came to 35. Like when people start turning him down. Like listen to where the conversation go when people don't want to fight a guy. People don't even know how to put it in perspective. Like I hate this conversation because it's so easy to understand. Is everybody ducking him? No. Has he said no? There's about 4 or 5 of them guys that said no. Yes. So it's like, what is he supposed to do when people say no? It's like, just like KO said, people are almost happy that he's not getting an opportunity to fight somebody of substance because these dudes, and I'm gonna just keep it clean. These dudes don't be wanting to fight. They don't be wanting to take that challenge. So they can make it about money. They can make it about whatever they want. They can say they're not interested in fighting, whatever. They go in another direction. These dudes, they're the ones saying no to him. Imagine the day in boxing where the guy that's having multiple quality guys, according to what the boxing consensus will tell you, the boxing world will tell you, quality guy after quality guy saying no. But instead of giving those guys the flat, you're giving it to the guy that the dudes are ducking, are avoiding, or turning the fight down. I've never seen nothing like this in boxing. And
wasn't that Dev 2 years ago though?
It's 100% fact. What I seen 2 years ago with Dev,
he couldn't get a fight.
Creating the same narratives that they're doing now, saying everybody is ducking them. Did you know people have said Regis Prograis ducked them and they got a date at December 9th?
I've never seen that.
People said this. His fans, some of his biggest fans, content creators, they said it that Regis Prograis ducked them. So again, they wanted me to.
I've never seen that. I seen Regis Prograis ducked that. Homa did duck that nigga. Homa did duck that nigga.
My issue with all of that, Patrick Barrett, what it do, homie? Remo, what it do, homie? How you feeling? My issue with that is Loma, his people told Bill to his face that the reason they didn't fight because the fight didn't make sense. Remember, he was saying, but wasn't nobody calling your phone like us. He like, true, but he like, but no, it wasn't us ducking. It was the fight made no sense. And then they fight for unification. I mean, that's not ducking. That's somebody creating a narrative. He clearly fought. Who did he fight?
The nigga gave up a belt. Yeah. The nigga made a new belt up, man. I don't want to.
I was like, you can't duck a guy when you go fight? You get what I'm saying? I don't see it. But again, look, just think about this. He still fought. He fought.
That's because Dev.
William Old School, my brother. Salute, Brody. How you feeling? Yeah, snack. Y'all on snack. Everybody at snack. Dave at snack. Core at snack. Boots at snack. Andre at snack. Crawford at snack. I got a lot of fighters at snack, man.
Who be using the most drug enhancement at snack? Dave, Shakur, or Bud?
They've been throwing Bud under the bus lately.
That's what I'm saying. They said Bud got lightning coming out of his arms and shit.
Yeah, nah, Bud just Bud's success, I think, is a byproduct of him living a fighter's lifestyle, approaching the sport the right way. And I ain't saying in terms of y'all can have a business argument. I don't care about that. I'm just saying in terms of and embracing the sport and living that fighter's lifestyle. And really, I think that's what exactly. That's what's paying off for him. I don't think it's no PDs, no enhancements. I think that's just something that I don't even know how you could feel comfortable pushing that. I can't do that. I'm sorry. I can't do that. Can't just pull that shit out the thin blue air. Nah, bro. I can't do it.
No. When it comes to Crawford, right? How y'all doing? When it comes to Crawford, he's basically just a gym rat, and he's basically the Cool G rap of boxing. He stays in the gym.
Right.
He stays in the gym. You don't hear no stories of him getting into this, getting into that, and all that. He just stays he stays training.
Big dose. What it do, homie?
Yeah, how you doing? Hey, listen, man. I don't know if it was you that said it about Shakur Stevenson. You don't have no problem selling. Was that you, or were you talking about Devin?
So, yeah. I said Shakur Stevenson don't have a problem.
Yeah. Well, you know what, man? That's actually no. Brother, that's a misnomer because he only fights in his hometown. He only fights in Jersey. Have you ever seen him fight any place?
The only thing I could speak to was factual. And again,
right.
When we speaking about when they can be comparing it to, and I hate to do it because it's a corny argument because it kind of makes it a personal thing, but it's not. It's just we going off what's out there. It don't matter where you fighting at. That's not the question. It's not, it's people are putting the narrative. You can't sell tickets. Nobody comes to see you. So then the narrative can't move. And then once you point out that, how many tickets he sold when he was home? They're like, well, that's at home. No. What did you say? People don't come
Where else did he fight?
So it's like, don't try to, you know what I mean? Don't try to slide the goalpost.
I'm not trying to knock him or nothing. He's a very skillful young man, but he don't fight outside of Jersey, right?
And again, he fought outside of Jersey, but again, you talking about where he sells the most tickets at? It's gonna be in his hometown. It's gonna be. Right. I would think it would be where you from, right?
Yeah. Well, not with everybody, brother. Not with everybody. But that doesn't make him a draw, though.
Your last three fights, don't make him a draw. 10,000 tickets. That's not a person that has an issue selling tickets. But when you got a guy struggling to sell 2,500 to 3,000 tickets, that's an issue.
No, but the brother's very skillful, but I don't think he has the fan base outside of Jersey.
Sales history, so that's a dead end argument to even try to argue that. There's nothing to argue there. But
no, I'm not trying to argue. I'm just stating the fact that
where he's fought at, people come out, and that's the only. It's no argument there. It's just a fact. You could look the numbers up. It ain't nothing I'm making up.
Yeah, but my point is he only does that in Jersey. And my point is also this: he's a very skillful young man, but he doesn't have a buzz to him until he started mentioning Devin. He wasn't really he's not a big ticket seller. Neither one of them are really big ticket sellers. So even if you put them both together, it's not really going to be a big ticket fight.
What has Devin Haney done for his career?
Devin Haney, well, that's obvious. Devin Haney's undisputed. Devin Haney just had a controversial win to me over Lomachenko, and now he's fighting Regis. So he's making moves. This young brother here, he's actually winning, but nobody really knows who he is. His name is attached to Devin now, so he's getting
now
a buzz.
again.
Because outside of real boxing
what are
fans,
you basing
nobody
that
knows
on?
who he is.
Because if you go
I'm basing that on fact.
If you're going, and I ain't even counting. Of course, I'm not going to compare pay-per-view to non-pay-per-view. I'm gonna
No. We're not talking about pay-per-view. He's just not a known commodity, brother.
I'm gonna take the Loma fight off the table. Do you know what kind of ticket sales that Devin Haney
I
does?
don't even do ticket sales. And you can't
so
take
again,
no. But you can't take something that happened off the table already, brother.
Nah, we want to
no, you can't take something that happened already off the table.
When you say nobody knows him, what are you basing it off? Your personal
outside of boxing fans, brother, he's not really a known fight. I mean, outside of boxing fans, he's not really known outside of boxing fans.
And neither is Devin Haney.
They don't have. I already said that. I already said that he's not really, but he does have a following online because that's where he started. He started on social media, so he has that following. But this cat doesn't really have a following like that.
A social media following or the asses that you put in seats. It's not
well, you know what, man?
Keep this in mind. A following,
brother, we're in the age of social media, which puts ass in seats right now. Because I'm 52, so
I don't always.
I've been watching boxing since I was 15.
Bro.
So we're in the social media age.
One of them was sold out of arena.
Neither one of them are big ticket sellers, brother. Neither one of them are big ticket sellers.
I'm gonna tell y'all again. Y'all are going off of what y'all personally think or feel. I'm giving y'all numbers.
I'm not going off of what I feel. I'm going off the facts. If you can give me some facts about what you're saying,
anything that you're saying, you're just throwing rhetoric out there and saying nobody knows him. He don't sell. When I'm telling you, the ticket sales.
He's not a known commodity,
brother. The goalpost conveniently to he only sells in Jersey. No, you just said
I'm speaking facts to you though, and you're getting upset about my facts. I mean, it's facts. It's not my facts. It's the facts.
In Jersey, and again, you got to get your numbers right because in the last
I didn't mention numbers. I didn't mention numbers. I didn't mention numbers at all.
Do you know what Devin Haney's last 3 fights, not counting the pay-per-view, ticket sales are? If you don't, then it's a dead-end argument. And you're just telling me what you feel, not what you know. I'm telling y'all what I know.
I'm not telling you what I feel. He fights in Jersey. Yes, I know. How's that a feeling and not a fact?
You said he don't sell. So if you are pushing the
I said he don't. I said not a big ticket guy. What I said clearly is that neither one of them were big ticket guys. That's what I said, right?
But he said no, only in Jersey. No, the argument is that he don't sell. So I'm showing you that you don't.
Where else has he fought, brother? Where else has he fought that he sold?
They'll say otherwise. You telling
me where else has he fought that he sold, brother? Where else has he fought that he sold?
That's not the question. The question
yes, it is because how else can we judge it based on what you're saying?
That was never the question. Nobody never came up here and said, "Tell me where he sells at." The question was, or the statement you people are making is that he don't sell. And I'm telling you with factual numbers, and you're moving the goalposts.
Why does he only fight in Jersey then? Why does he only fight in Jersey?
He don't sell.
Take a breath, brother. Why does he only fight in Jersey?
It don't matter.
That's my point to you, brother. He sells at home, and that's it.
What's the point? Do he sell or do he not sell? And where are your numbers to back your argument? If you,
I can only go by what's out there. He fights in Jersey. Where else has he fought?
Again, what proof do you have that he
only fights in Jersey, brother? So where else has he fought? You keep asking and I keep giving you the same answer.
Of course he's gonna fight in Jersey, bro. But what point are you making? I'm trying to understand. You said he don't sell. I proved to you that he do. I can still pull the numbers up.
You've only proven that he fought in Jersey, and I agreed with you. I agree with you.
I'm trying to understand. What are you trying to say?
Okay, brother. Okay, how about this? Until he fights outside of Jersey, we ain't never gonna know because he has not fought outside of Jersey. So how are we having this conversation about him?
I ain't gonna get into this because this is like off the topic. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna mean it, bro. You can have your opinion on what.
It's not my opinion. He fights in Jersey. I'm not making none of this up.
You can have your opinion on
where else has he fought, brother?
Where he sells it.
Where else has he fought?
All I know, the only thing I'm responding to is not where he sells. It's the fact that you and other people are pushing that he don't.
I'm not like other people. I'm speaking facts. He sells because
and I'm gonna give you a point. Where is Devin Haney's hometown at?
Where the hell is Devin Haney from?
Where is he from?
You asking the Roy? He's from LA or something, right?
You get what I'm saying? So again,
he's from the West Coast, right?
You got a guy struggling to sell 3,000 tickets versus a guy that's selling over 10,000 tickets. That shouldn't even be an argument. That's not even. That's what I'm trying to say, and I hate to have those arguments because those are the facts.
All right, brother.
When people say, and again, listen,
I'm gonna wave the white flag,
right? But
I'm gonna wave the white flag, man.
He's not a big draw. He's not a Tank Davis. That was never the argument. My only response was to people that said he don't sell. And if I say in the last 3 fights he sold well over 10,000 tickets, then he moved the goalpost to he only sells there.
I didn't move no goalpost. I'm simply speaking the facts. I didn't move no goalpost. He fought in Jersey.
Did I not just prove to you that he does sell? You can't specify.
No, you didn't, because as I stated, he fights in Jersey. So what did you prove? What did you prove? We both go back and forth about New Jersey.
People that just don't know what they talking
until he fights outside of New Jersey, we have nothing to back up.
Bro, I don't give a damn if he fought in Newark. You know what I mean? New Jersey.
That's still Jersey, baby. That's still Jersey.
That's not the argument. Where he sells, bro, that's a different discussion. It's not even an argument. It's a fact I'm laying out there. They said he don't sell tickets. I'm saying, what are you basing it off? Your personal opinion?
No, I'm basing it off of the boy steadily fights in Jersey. Until he fights outside of Jersey, we cannot.
I don't think his last 3 fights was in Jersey. I think the last.
What was his last 3 fights?
I think the last 2 was in Jersey.
Okay, you just stated for the last his last 3 fights were in Jersey, and he sold 10,000. That's what you just said.
And Sacial, I think, and Valdez.
Where did he fight? Where was his last 3 fights?
Yoshino was the last 3.
Where? Because you're giving me names.
Where they fought at? Where we fought Valdez at? It wasn't in Jersey though.
Anyway, brother. I mean, you know what, brother? You know, if his camp had any leverage, this fight would have been happening. They just don't have any leverage to get any better from the Haneys because they don't have any leverage.
What fight you talking about?
With Haney and Shakur. If they had any leverage, then this fight would have been happening.
Nah, he didn't have the leverage. Obviously, I mean, he did play the only card he could. But again, it's really a quick discussion, right? Haney entitled to offer what he want, and if he don't take it, he entitled to take his ball and keep doing what he's doing. Right?
Exactly right.
You get what I'm saying? Shakur is entitled to say, hey, 25%, I deserve more than that. I'm going to the sanctioning bodies. Dev is then allowed to say, man, you take what I want, what I offer you, or it's over with. And that's what they did. So, and hopefully they'll revisit it later on where all of this flim-flam ain't got to be the case, right? And the business square itself away. Get Bucks, we taking the dub, and I go Bucks. Salute to Aunt Latham. Vegas, Vegas. Appreciate you, Miss Joette. Appreciate you, Queen. Hey, I know it wasn't in Jersey, though. And I think when people got to keep the argument as to what it is. I don't like to argue much. I just hate false narratives. If you're gonna say he only sells tickets in New Jersey, then that should have been said. That you shouldn't come out and say, he don't sell tickets nowhere.
For me, for Shakur, I want a bigger sample size outside of New Jersey.
Narrative. It doesn't matter if he's selling them. You got people. The reason why I asked where somebody was from, and I don't even like to do this because some people will call Vegas his home, right? And I believe that's where he fought Jojo Diaz. Now, I would urge anybody, if you want to argue about ticket sales, go look at the number of ticket sales for that fight and how mightily it struggled. And that's where he's from, right? That's where he's from, right? Then he gets booed, and I don't like these conversations. They corny, but if we really being honest, like again. You don't know what he'll ever do on pay-per-view because he never been there. But in terms of putting an ass in a seat and selling I know he's not Tank. That's not what I'm saying. But it's a big difference between saying somebody don't put asses in the seats and somebody showing you that they do. And that's why I alluded to the last 3 fights, not the last 2 that was in Jersey, the last 3 fights. That's not an accident. You give it that's consistency. That's why I pointed out the last 3 fights. I wasn't just talking out my ass. I'm not trying to argue nobody down. I just like to make sense. When people say stuff, what are you backing it off? And a lot of times they think I'm arguing. You get what I'm saying? If you can show me this, because other than that, you telling me what you think. Like, because again, then they start blurring the lines. Is he a big star? We know that's not the discussion, right? That's people want to say he don't sell tickets, and I'm telling you that's not true. That's the only I'm telling you that's not true. You get what I'm saying? He don't struggle selling tickets. Whether it's in Jersey or not, he ain't struggling to sell tickets in Vegas with Valdez either.
For me, for Shakur, when it comes to this conversation you guys are having, he has a bigger sample size of selling out in his home state. I want to see that more consistently outside of New Jersey. He's only done that once, and it was decent in Vegas. I need to see if he can do that like in California, like maybe if he goes to New York or Philly. Let's see if he can do that like up the East Coast or coming down to another state. I want to see a more consistent. I'm not saying he can't. I just need to see more proof that he can consistently do it like he's doing it in New Jersey, in the tri-state area of New Jersey and stuff like that. You understand where I'm coming from?
I mean, it's fair to say, but again, I think it's very simple. I'm gonna say this again. If somebody is going to come up here and say, "Yo, he don't sell tickets," you be specific is what I'm asking.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm being something to actually
more specific. I want him more consistent out of state.
Again, it's easy to say what he's doing in Jersey, but I just said that. I said the last 3 fights, and one of them is not in Jersey for a reason, because you've seen a consistency with the ticket sales there. That's outside of Jersey. Now, again, you want to say my argument is not, oh, he sells this much specifically here, there. I would never even make that argument because I don't have all the numbers, but I spoke to what I know. So I'm gonna go off the last 3 fights, which one was outside of Jersey, and I don't think he had a problem selling tickets till last time I checked the numbers. And I said,
hey, did you know what the exact numbers for that Joyce fight?
At least there's a want to actually for people to support him to begin with. You just don't know what he'll do until he's put in a situation where he has to show it. But again, to just make a broad statement and say what he don't do, and he in fact does do it, is where I'm at with it. I think people just now, when you want to specify, that's your own argument. My only pushback is don't come up here and say he don't sell no ticket. And then when I tell you that the last 3 fights is this, oh, well, no, he only does it in Jersey. That's not the same thing. That's not the same thing as he sells no tickets. So that's the only point I'm making. It's just that simple to understand.
Yeah.
It's very simple.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's just like it's another argument that I'm not really having because again,
and for me, when you look at both,
the last 3 fights,
for him and Devin, they're about the same in terms of how many, like the perception on how many tickets they actually sell, than the actual numbers show. Like,
and again, man, I'm only gonna go off of what is reported, right? And that I know is credible. And with that, like I tell you, you could really type that in right now and look at it. Like pull up the ticket sales. You'll see that it's over 10,000 something for this, and then for that event, then for that. You'll see it. You'll see the same thing. So again, notice how I speak for what I research, not for what I think or feel. People tell me what they think or feel, not what they research. That be the difference. It's not really an argument when I'm going off of what I know is there versus what somebody's telling me based on what they feel the perception of things is, or what we all know is a fact. Like, it's not easy to be a big draw in today's boxing. You should know that. That's why it's only one Tank Davis. That's not by accident. Quincy,
and there's only one Tyson Fury.
Somebody said that's the face of boxing. They said you can consider him the face of boxing right now, Tyson Fury.
Yeah,
that was the
that's a line right there.
Face of boxing, right? Man, I'm trying to think. Don't give me the line. I don't want to misplace nobody. I got to go back and look. I got it in my description. Yeah, somebody said that people gonna get mad at me for saying it, but you can consider Tyson Fury the face of boxing. Was it Teddy Atlas? And don't be surprised.
No. I know who you're talking about. It wasn't Teddy. It was the guy who works for ESPN, the boxing reporter. I forgot his name now.
I'm gonna go back and look because
it was Rayfield. It was Rayfield.
Nah, I didn't read Dan Rayfield today though. That's why I know he might have said it too. But what I read, it wasn't Dan Rayfield. I know it wasn't him. I think it was Teddy. But let me go find it.
Yeah, and when it comes to this argument about who sells more tickets, I think they're about even. Like to me, Shakur and Devin are
like
about
those
even.
Conversations because they don't mean nothing to me, right? Like I like both of those dudes. I want to see both of these fights sell and do whatever they do.
When you look at these ticket sales, can we make
when
sure
you do
it's the actual
like,
numbers? Because sometimes these promoters overblow the numbers.
But again,
ticket sales
man,
to make it seem
I
like
get
the fight is
that.
actually
I get that,
more.
but it's like it's a matter of just going to the sources that you deem to be credible. And
no,
again,
I go straight to the source.
And it's out there, like it's certain stuff that you just know that they're not gonna misprint and lie about. And if you really comparing the ticket sales, like it's a gap there. People might not want to acknowledge it because they think an undisputed title means ticket sales, and they don't. But people gonna learn the hard way that that's not the case. It don't equate that.
When I look at these numbers, I go directly to the source, which is the actual promoter's website, and sometimes they overblow it to make it like.
Right.
They make the numbers look bloated to make it seem like the fighter's a ticket seller.
That's why. And again, I don't with him, I don't think that's the case because I don't see no egregious, exaggerated numbers. Like I said, when I alluded to the last 3 fights, I did that because within those last 3 fights, you can see a consistency. And even with one of the fights, you got a chance to see what it do outside of Jersey. So again, if I'm going to go off of numbers and somebody can't tell me no numbers that they're going off to substantiate what they're saying, why would I listen to it when I can see, like, based off what those numbers are projecting wise, he look like he do okay is what I'm saying. I'm not saying no box office star. I'm just saying with that whole notion of what he don't do, like it be crickets or empty in there when he fight. I think that's an exaggeration. The only point
I can answer this question actually. What Anthony's asking.
Yeah, the question for me is not if he does more than this guy or that guy. Like I hate those arguments. They're corny. Like I want to see all these dudes do well. You know what I'm saying?
You know why it matters? It's not about the hardcore fans. It's like Anthony. For me, it's not the hardcore fans that care about this. It's more about the casual fans that are coming into the sport.
Another thing, I don't really care. All I know is when these dudes fight, I support them, right? I know Dad fought on pay-per-view with Loma. I know I had the opportunity to support it. I did it, right? I know Shakur fought the last 2 times at the Prudential Center. I had a chance to support it. It wasn't too far for me to get to. I had no problem. I was there, right? So that's where I'm at. I do my part. So I want to see all these dudes win. So I never care about who sells more. Like who's the bigger. Who cares? I don't care. I don't watch these dudes because of how much money they make. I watch them because of how skilled I think you are, how good a fighter I think these dudes are. Like their money is just icing on the cake for them. I like to know that these dudes are being compensated for their troubles, for our entertainment, right? But I don't care about that. I just don't like false narratives. Like, and again, I think if just to put a cap on that last conversation, that was my only point. Don't say he don't do something at all and then specify that, oh yeah, well he does do it, but only in this area. No, you just said he didn't. So don't switch it to, oh yeah, but he does do it, but only here. You see how that's different? Nah, you just say he didn't. That's my only reason for opening my mouth. If you would have came on here and said, well, I seen in his last couple fights he did this, this, and that. So outside, you get what I'm saying? You basing it off something other than what you feel and think, then I'll let it rock.
So you think I'm not? Is it me? Like when I look at this, I don't watch boxing as much as you guys do, and sometimes that's where I pay attention to the ticket sales a little bit too much.
Sometimes, I mean, sometimes it comes up because it be part of certain conversations. But for me, I think it's a way to have these conversations. I would rather have them in terms of trying to speak on why boxing is doing good. Did you see these numbers? Like when I seen that Tank and Ryan number, I was happy for boxing. Get what I'm saying? I'd rather talk about it in that way because I'm not petty and no matter what fighter I'm rooting for when they fight, I'm rooting for both of the guys as individuals, men inside and outside the ring. So I don't care to try to make one guy look like he's not doing this and this guy's doing that. I like to have a conversation that boxing is thriving. Like I would have liked for the story to be more so how good the fight was between Dev and Loma and you know how competitive it was. That's what a good 50-50 fight rather than, oh, it only sold 150K. Like who does that benefit to make a joke out of that but us for the lack of support, or at least that's how they're gonna spin it, right? So like I don't ever see how that's a conversation that's good to use to talk boxing. Like, all right, his ticket sale, why what if he could fight his ass off? And that's why I say last time I checked, Dev could fight his ass off. I don't care what his ticket sales are, bro. I will hope more people support him.
I got a question for you, brother.
Because they nice in the ring, not because they sell tickets. We know when they fight, they can get my money. I know that. You get what I'm saying? So I hate the conversations that put them against each other in that personal manner where I like to talk about how the sport is thriving. Like I will hope the next time, I think this Regis fight, right, is on pay-per-view. I believe they put it on pay-per-view. I will hope it do better than the 150, right? So that could be the new talking point. Ah, man, he's showing some growth. You get what I'm saying? I'd rather hear that. I don't care for it only sold 100,000 or it did. Nah, I don't. That's not cool. I would rather hear it did something that they didn't think it was going to do, right? Shock the people. Show people that we support the product that's out there when you give us a fight that we want. You get what I'm saying? I care none for the conversations that kind of really just highlight how people don't support boxing. You get what I'm saying? That's really what it's telling you. You think you shitting on a fighter, you really telling on yourself indirectly.
I got a question for you, brother, if you don't mind. You know, I got a question for you and everybody on the panel and the chat, right?
Mm.
There's a fight coming up Saturday, man. You know, how come we not talking about that?
Right, Ant. What fight coming up Saturday?
Exactly. CHARLO and CANELO is coming up on the 30th.
I mean, you probably didn't see the thumbnail. It's in my thumbnail. It's definitely my thumbnail. And
no,
it's fight
week. I'm just going on what I'm hearing, brother. I'm going on what I'm hearing because I can't see the thumbnail.
We ain't get there yet, but it's there. It's there. It's CHARLO. And again, that's what I do when it's fight week. I talk about the fight all week. So I'll probably be talking about this fight all the way up until it happened. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying?
Who's the card for that
you
fight?
Get what I'm saying, Big Dose? Like I want to see this sport thrive. That's why I'm here. I'm not interested in the conversations that put these dudes up against each other unless we talking about them in the ring with each other. Then that's the conversation for me. If we trying to do persons, this one doing better than him. He sell more than I don't care about that. Why do I care about that? I can't control that. If I could help it, they all would be selling and $1 million, having $1 million pay-per-view sales, and you know what I'm saying? They all would be doing it if I could help it. So I just don't care for that.
If you had the money, you would be would be basically doing it.
Right. So again, man, just to wrap it up, man. Salute to them boys. That conversation just be whatever. But I got kind of sucked in right there. I wasn't supposed to get sucked in right there. But back to some more boxing, man. Something I wanted to touch on real quick too, man. This Errol Spence saga with this Terrence Crawford deal, man. I think, like I said before, and I ain't even gonna spend a lot of time on this. If all it take is some type of notification in writing that you can no longer make 147 and this fight take place at 54, I think him and his team need to jump all over that, get that done, take care of that business, and find yourself in a rematch at a healthier weight where you could be more of yourself and have a much better outing, potentially, get your lick back. You get what I'm saying? I would hate to see you, be less than in the ring again. Like seeing it one time was more than enough for me. Like everybody got their own assessments of what happened. I just felt like it was a matter of staying put too long. And, it's probably a lot of other stuff, but at the end of the day, that's the most concrete, conclusion that I can draw from that fight. You just seen a guy that wasn't himself for whatever reason, right? It's a mystery. And I leave it like that. And the better guy won. And again, I don't need to see him at 47 to know that, he's outgrowing that weight.
So if that fight happens at 154, do you think can you hear me?
Yeah, I get you.
If that fight happens at 154, do you think Terrence has to vacate all his titles that he won at 147? Or is this just a one fight thing, then he goes back down to
something kind of in a big part of me for like Crawford is done at 47, because if he's not, that's like saying you're gonna fight, not just Spence, after that point, you're gonna fight Boots, because that's who's gonna be there.
Virgil.
So I see him. I think Virgil done at 47 too, especially if he even come back. I know they're trying to say 54 or 60 or whatever, but we'll see when the time comes. But for the most part, for Errol, and not just the notification of the 47, I think Derrick James needs to get help. And I have heard some type of whispers that he is supposed to be bringing in some other people for some help, to get some help. And I think it doesn't make him less of a trainer nor man to get help. I think you got a lot on your plate, and you've been doing a hell of a job being the, captain.
You brought up the trainer. You brought up the trainer thing.
Yeah, I don't think getting help ruins that. I think you still are who you are. I just think it'll make you better in the long run. I think it'll strengthen the whole team in the long run to go get some extra help.
You brought up the trainer. This is what I've always wanted to ask you. With these trainers, it seems like
Right.
Even if they have people, like, let's say, even if they have trainers under them, it seems like it seems like they don't trust even the trainers. People who have trainers, it seems like they don't trust the trainers, like to relinquish power to their team to train fighters and stuff like that. They have to be so controlling to the point where it seems like the trainers underneath them have to leave and go to or start their own gym and stuff because the trainer refuses to relinquish power.
I mean,
stuff like that.
I think that's the case in some situations. I think, but as it pertains more so to Errol Spence situation, I think it's just, and Derrick James, I think it's just a matter of a guy that has been doing so much for so long himself that, you know, he probably didn't see it no other way, right? But I think sometimes in defeat and when you get things wrong, you get a different perspective, a different viewpoint, and maybe you start thinking a little bit different. And I think you know, you start to see a little bit clearer, right? And I just don't think it hurts to bring people in to kind of alleviate some of the stuff you got on your plate, because make no mistake about it, I don't want to say he got too much on his plate, but you'll be a fool to say he don't have a whole lot on his plate. And just think about it, he had a lot before he got AJ and Ryan Garcia, and then you take on those two dudes. Just think about the personalities that are AJ and Ryan Garcia, bro. Like, nobody could have predicted 2023. He would have had Charlo, AJ, and Ryan with Errol Spence and Frank Martin. Like, you get him? So, like,
does he train both Charlo brothers?
Not both JERMELL. You know what I mean? So, but you know, so you couldn't predict it. You couldn't predict that, and you damn sure couldn't predict it.
That was crazy when I found out Ryan joined that Derrick James camp.
This is what I'm saying. So he got a lot on his plate, and I just don't think it's crazy for him to think, or for anybody to think, that he need the help. At the 147 belts on the line, no matter the weight, the rematch. Oh yeah, he said you asking. Nah, if it's at 54, I doubt if the 147 belts would be on the line at all. But again, the question's still up in the air as to what weight it'll be at, right? But if I'm just going off of what the last party of one of the parties involved, you know, Errol Spence been on some silent mode. So, you know, Bud Crawford has been the only one that spoke, and he said, to his knowledge, it's happening at 47 because he wasn't notified in writing that he can no longer make 47. So he assuming that's where the fight is at. So we'll see. But again, I think, yeah, Derrick James, man, hearing the whispers about him potentially bringing somebody else in or getting some help is, I think, a good thing. I think it can only strengthen the team. I don't think it'll be a distraction or, you know, be a disservice to Errol. I think it'll actually be a help to him in some way, shape, or form. So I hope to see that. Fender Bender, what it do, homie? Ronnie Shields, his mom's trainer. Ethan was seen with Roy Jones. Oh yeah, Mo was with Roy. Yeah, he was with Roy. One thing I noticed about what he said was about the mentorship. Like, I try to focus heavily on them words and hang on to them. Like, he used a certain choice of words right there, and mentorship. And when I heard that, I'm thinking like fighter to fighter. So I'm thinking it's more of the wise words and the game that he can get from a guy that was at the highest of the high, right? And obviously had to be at the lowest of the low when he lost, right? So maybe he can connect with him differently, you know, mentor him. Like, I just think it's more so about his mental and well-being more so than the training, right? And I think, of course, like, you know, it's Roy Jones, right? You know, it's going to be some type of something in the mix, but I don't think it's a matter of him like changing to Roy Jones as his trainer or nothing like that, right? I think he just getting some mentorship and some game from Roy Jones, some good talking. Like, you remember the conversation that Roy had with Big Baby Anderson, and you see how he got a different emotion out of him, but how he kind of seemed like he got through to him at the end of the day. So maybe I could see that same thing for
and
CHARLO.
And for me, and this is where I kind of wished I think there was a few times during when Tio won the titles from Loma that guys like not Oscar, Marco Antonio Barrera and Julio, not Chavez Sr., Juan Manuel Marquez try to come in and mentor, give him advice and stuff, but his father wouldn't allow that and stuff like that to avoid the same mistakes.
I mean, when you say that, the only fighter that I can think of yeah, man, I hope he still got that, he driven and hungry. The only fighter I can think of on the top of my head is Teofimo, because I've heard a situation happen like that already with them bringing somebody else in that was doing good work with him, but him and the father butted heads, and the father got him up out of there. So
and this is where I came. This is why I kind of wished, like, I'm not saying
like you ever notice with Bill, they'll work with people. You get what I'm saying? When it come to his son, they'll work with people. You get what I'm saying? And
with Tio specifically, I've said this multiple times. I understand his father got him to this point where he is now, being a 2-time undisputed champion and stuff like that, and in 2 different weight divisions, which you said hasn't happened in boxing.
Anthony, what's good with it, bro? How you feeling?
Hey.
You said say that again?
What I was sorry, I stopped talking because you heard. What I was saying is with Tio specifically, I've said this multiple times. I understand his father has gotten him to where he is, but it seems like his father's controlling his career so much to the point where it might be a detriment to him in the long run. The perfect example is what I was just saying, that guys like Juan Manuel Marquez, Eric Morales, and Marco Antonio Barrera tried to go into his training camp and mentor him and the father kicked them out because he wanted to control the son, everything the son was listening to, and stuff like that.
Like I said, that's something that they're gonna have to deal with as they go through his career. But I said it before, that could potentially be a problem. So far, it seemed like they found a way to navigate that and not allow that to be the problem. So
yeah, but you don't understand where I'm coming from. When you disrespect when you disrespect legends like that, that's a sign of a bad sign right there.
Yeah, I don't think it's disrespect. It's more so like you're naive to other help. Like you unwilling to allow people to help you in areas where it would benefit your son. You unable to see that, your son should be able to get help outside of yourself to be successful, if that's what his career calls for, if that's what the situation calls for. But he's stubborn in that regard, and he seems, like you were saying, unwilling to give up his position at all for anybody. He ain't playing second fiddle for nobody. But I can understand it to some degree, because at the same time, look, we've gotten this far. Why would I now allow somebody to come in and fully just take over? But that's why I've always said I don't think he needs to do that. But to bring in another set of eyes and things like that, I don't think that would hurt. But that's only if that person is able to coexist with his father and they're able to work
and
together.
just I have a question. How big would this pay-per-view be? Let's say Canelo's the main event, and let's say Canelo has another fight, let's say this fight with Ryan and the hypothetical fight that they're talking about with Ryan is Ryan and Tio, that they're saying it might be in February after the Super Bowl.
I mean, they threw that out there, but it's just one of them things where I doubt it.
Oh no, but let's say to make it more interesting, have them be the co-main event for a Canelo fight. Do you think Tio would even allow himself to do that? Be the co-main event to a Canelo pay-per-view?
No, because I think at this point he's a main event fighter. I think that's the problem that you run into. Like, I don't think it'll ever be a reason at this point in his career, unless he start taking L's again and multiple losses. But I don't think it'll ever be a reason for him to be a co-main event. I know it sounds good, but in hindsight, like when they're trying to build you as a star in your own right, like putting you on somebody.
Don't you think it would be a bit? That's a question where I honestly think it would make him a bigger star if he's on on a card with Canelo. I understand he doesn't want to be the co-main event, maybe, but don't you think that would make him a bigger star if he's on a pay-per-view card with Canelo though? Even more bigger star if he.
I see what the thinking is like, but I think for them ultimately, like it wouldn't make sense for them being that he, they're billing him as a main event type of fighter, star in his own right. And again, fighting on somebody co-main don't necessarily say star to the people like that. Like he's elevated from that point. I think being somebody's co-main, no matter how big the star, would be like a step backwards.
No, and the reason why I asked that is because I've seen.
What you mean? What you say about Coach Cal when he says something big is coming? They just gotta lock it in. You talking about them statements he made? I see you, Miss Joanne. How we shouldn't assume Canelo will beat Charlo. Nope. That's why I put in the description. Speaking of that fight, just to change gears, because this is fight week and this fight.
Yeah, I want to analyze this fight with you.
It came fast. And people got some mixed feelings and opinions on this fight and how it's gonna play out. For one, I don't think people should all the way count Charlo out. I do think it's okay to factor in the fact that he's moving up in weight, but just like Derrick James has been adamant about, he's not gonna have him pack on a bunch of muscle and be 168 pounds. He don't want him to come in that heavy at all. He says just because you're moving up in weight, don't mean you gotta pack up on all that weight like that. So I think, but just real quick, real quick, let me just get to that. I see you ask that question. Man, Coach Cal being very close to the vest with that kind of comment, because you just never know what it could be, right? The way he made it sound like a pit bull wouldn't turn our heads. I've heard some whispers about a Lomachenko. I've heard somebody throw Tio name out there. Like, it's only a couple of names that would turn our heads like that, right? I just don't know. Like, you know what I mean? I don't
Shakur Stevenson.
I know it ain't Shakur because he fighting Delisandro.
but I'm just saying.
That'd be crazy if that could ever happen. But when I think at some point they're gonna have to consider that fight. But right now you could get away with it. Ain't pushed to come to shove. But as they continue to win, there's going to be a demand for that fight for sure, and I'm going to be right there demanding it. But
see, and it's the other way around too. Just
right, yeah.
When it comes to the Canelo versus Charlo fight, it's also the other extreme. People are saying that a lot of people are saying Charlo is going to walk over Canelo because he's getting older. He's lost a step.
Yeah, I'll say this. I don't think it's gonna be no walking over on either side, to be honest. I think he understands that Canelo is probably gonna be the best version of himself that he's been in recent fights because he's getting up for that challenge. And I think Canelo gonna look at Charlo the same way. That's why he's preparing for it, right? I think it's a chance that you see Canelo be better than he's looked in his last fights. But I think ultimately you can't fully change and all your deficiencies. Is still he don't have the fastest feet. He does slow down at the back end of the fight still. I don't think he'll be able to change that all of a sudden. But he still is strong. He's strong, very strong early. He got fast hands. He's very crafty. He's smart. Upper body movement. Got a lot of experience, man. The dude got good defense. You know what I mean?
So you felt he didn't wake up for Bivol?
Nah, he just was never going to beat Bivol. Stylistically, Bivol will always be wrong for him. If they fought 9 more times, Bivol would still beat him.
Okay, no, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if when you said he did. When you said the comment, he's going to wake up for this fight.
Up for this fight, I just think it is a such thing as fighting down to your competition. I do believe that, and I do believe that real always recognize real. If you don't think of nothing else about Charlo, that's a real fighter that you got to be on point for. And that's what I'm saying.
So you're saying this fight might be at a catch weight, not at 168?
I don't think it matters. I think, I don't think it matters. I think the whole thing is how Charlo maintains his weight, how he gains the extra weight, and how he fights with it, how he performs with it. It's important for him, like Derrick James been saying, not to just pack on a bunch of weight and muscle, but to do it the right way and come in a bit lighter. And that's what he should do. And that's what I expect to see. I expect to see Charlo, because think about it, he fight at 54, but what you think he'd be at in between a fight?
I'm gonna say
he's heavier than 168 pounds in between a fight.
No,
so
I'm saying he walks around at cruiserweight.
But that's what I'm saying. That ain't just a matter of gaining the weight, but it's performing with that added weight. That's all that is. And I think as long as his mobility is not compromised severely, I think he'll be fine. This is going, Q Brown, salute, fam. 50-50. That's why I'm like still stated that I just don't think, he's going to, even though he's going to be up for this fight, I think Canelo, like, you'll see an effort from him. Like, you're going to see that he wants to win this fight is what I'm saying. Like, I think with some guys that he expect to beat, he kind of goes through the motion. I think
what's scary about this fight
with him, you'll see less of that against Charlo. Like him going through the motion.
I'm more worried about the perception after this fight. It's what's gonna happen if Canelo beats, it's gonna go the opposite direction too. I'm gonna go with Canelo first.
Good, bro.
They're gonna say he beat a smaller fighter. He should have gone against a David Benavidez or David Morrell, which, let's be realistic. A guy like Canelo, do you think he really wants to face those young lions at 168?
Nope.
Let's be honest with ourselves.
No, that's why that brings me to Ant point. And Ant, the one thing I say he learned since that Mayweather fight, he got a little bit better defensively, picked up some things from Floyd after that fight. But one thing that he noticeably got considerably better at is selecting his opponents. And that is no slight of shade, not meaning to just Charlo. Like, he's been carefully selecting opponents for quite some time now. And with the guys that he's fought, when he does it. But make no mistake about it, the dude fought a bunch of names, man.
Yeah, and it's going to go the other direction with Charlo, too. People are going to say that he beat an old Canelo who's past his prime and stuff like that. And
you don't think he spars at that weight?
There's not going to be full credit for either fighter.
What you mean, like 168? Do I think he sparred that weight? Charlo? In between weight, I think it's times he'd be happy like that. So again, it's just about, and I get it when you're saying sparring and being heavier, but just under the lights and no headgear, smaller gloves, and having to do it for 12 rounds with everything on the line, fighting with the added weight. I would suppose it just be more of a challenge. I got you. Yeah, I would think sparring at the weight. I mean, actually, fighting the actual fight at that weight would be more of a challenge than a sparring. You get what I'm saying? Especially with a Canelo.
Okay.
A guy that's actually
I'm gonna ask two questions. This question is for both you and the chat.
Is male sparring with heavyweights? I wonder. I know he probably got some heavier guys in there.
Doesn't Derrick James what's it called? Wait, is he with Derrick?
Who?
Charlo. The Charlo we're talking about now.
Yeah, JERMELL. Yeah, with Derrick James.
Yeah, no, but with Charlo specifically, I think what needs to happen. My question is, what do you think Canelo can take advantage with? What weaknesses in Charlo's game do you think Canelo can take advantage of? Besides the obvious. You
say, well, could Charlo take advantage of?
No, what Canelo could take advantage of.
Oh, Canelo.
Let's go with Canelo first.
It's simple. The mistakes that Charlo make. Leaving himself open sometimes after he punch, dropping his hands. Little things, those lapses in the fight and in judgment is little things that he definitely gonna be able to take advantage of, or he should be able to take advantage of. But again, it's all about Charlo preparation, man. He got to be prepared, and he got to limit the mistakes he make in front of this dude. Like his margin for error, you gotta suspect that it's a smaller margin for error.
I've always said this. Canelo's like the Terminator. He's like the Terminator.
Was tapping his ass off. Salute to my bro, Big Dog.
And we ain't never got a box again. Well. I already been getting these bets, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
No, I was asking besides the obvious. That is the obvious thing. What is the less obvious things you notice with
facts?
Charlo?
Mm-hmm.
what are the less obvious things you notice with Charlo that he tends to forget about? Like, does he get is it him or his brother that we notice that gets emotional if his game plan doesn't go the way he wants it? Is it JERMELL or Jamal that has that issue where if his game plan doesn't go the way he wants it, he starts panicking and his defense starts getting lackadaisical and stuff like that?
No, neither. But with JERMELL is you just seen times where he's fought a bit emotional and not listening to Derrick James, and you seen what the result of that fight was. It wasn't a win, it wasn't a loss, but it wasn't a win. But
the first Castano fight,
right? But you've also seen the rematch, and you had an opportunity to see the different versions of Charlo. The one where he fighting a little bit driven off emotion and not listening, as opposed to the second fight where he was not emotional, calm, relaxed, listening to his trainer and making minimal mistakes. And you've seen what the result was. So that's the Charlo we need in the ring on the 30th.
Big Dog Willie says, I can talk about Charlo all the time, forever. He said in the chat. I know he's joking around. What I can see Charlo, like, for me, I know his weaknesses with Canelo. Besides his gas tank, Canelo seems to, like, I don't know what it is. You can't lay off with Charlo. Like, I noticed that with Canelo. Do you know that too? Notice that too? Depending on what round he's in, he starts to, like, he's not full speed, but he tends to, like, lay off in certain rounds instead of, like he gives up the round purposely and stuff like that.
That's that complacency that you talking about with Canelo. And when he do that, he that's that bluffing he do. That's those moments in the fight where he don't really want to work. He don't really throw punches, but he'll be coming forward, making little subtle movements as if he about to work. But I think that's just how he bluff and get through the rounds. That's that complacency. That's fighting a bunch of guys that's not on your level and always having your way, and just having just a bit of a lazy approach at times. And I think
do you think Canelo can actually use that as a bluff with a Charlo, like not like fake his complacency, like make it like a, you know what I'm talking about? Like, you know how we expect him to lay off rounds. Can he use that as a bait for Charlo? Because Charlo's seen the tape.
It depends, but he got to be careful, because if he tries to lay off rounds and all that baiting, man, Charlo is a smart fighter. He can't take advantage of those moments where he's not active and not being busy, and it could get bad for him. Like, Charlo's a smart dude, man, especially when he focused and he listening. So that's what he just got to stay focused.
Is this a good card? Is the undercard good for this? For Canelo versus Charlo?
Yeah, they got one of the best undercards of the year. In my book, they got like real good matchups to me. Charlo
is Fundora on this card?
You got Charlo and Canelo, Lubin and Ramos. You got Elijah Garcia fighting a guy that just beat Jared Hurd. That's 14-1. So that's another good fight. You got good fights on this card.
Oh, Jesus. I feel bad. Let's hope Lubin doesn't experience the same.
Someone he can beat. Yeah, facts, Fender Bender. Facts, mental. That mental preparation. Like, yo, you're not going. Like, that Ward mentality, man. That Ward mentality when he fought Kovalev. I'm telling
you. Just I'm laughing because let's hope Ramos doesn't do to Lubin what he did to Joey Spencer.
Man.
Jesus, that would be embarrassing.
Lubin is just a little different. I think he'll make it a little different fight, but it's gonna be tough because that dude Ramos a dog.
You don't think it's gonna be a beat down? You don't think Ramos is gonna beat him down like he did Joey?
Not necessarily, but I think it'll be a different fight because Lubin brings something a little different to the game. I think he might be a little bigger naturally than Joey Spencer too.
Yeah, and I noticed speaking of that fight, that Joey Spencer, not Joey Spencer, Ramos versus Lubin. I noticed in the past couple of fights with Erickson, does he look like he's slowing down a little bit? Like his athleticism is not there like it used to be?
He got a tendency to slow down a bit, but I think some of that is just the natural pace of the fight sometimes. But for the most part, I think Lubin could finish strong when he need to. I've seen him slow down a bit, but I don't think he's known for real like gas tank issues, but maybe it might be a little something there. But I know in this fight in particular, you don't want to find yourself fatigued or tired. And
no. I'm not talking about his gas tank. What I'm talking about is, does it look like is he in his 30s?
Nah, he's 27. But Jordan, what it do, homie? Joey was a lot smaller than Ron was right. That's this problem. He was small. I hope Charlo don't go in there thinking about the KO. And that's the thing. I heard him saying his power is more than Canelo's, and he's gonna be surprised and all this stuff. I hear different people saying they think he gonna knock Charlo out. Charlo ain't nothing. He gonna knock him out late. I don't know, man, because John Ryder survived. Some of these dudes, these dudes ain't been the best. Some of these dudes survived and made it the distance. I just don't know. Charlo got a hell of a year.
My prediction is it goes 12 rounds, and I'm a Canelo fan, but I can't believe I'm saying this. I have Charlo winning by split decision.
I mean, it's because it's possible. That's why I could believe you saying it, but it's going to be a tough fight for Charlo. But I'm rocking with him. I mean, I like Canelo too, but I'm rocking with Charlo. I hope he, I like going for the underdog every now and then. And in this case, he's the underdog, the perfect underdog to go for. Charlo, it's a guy that's
you don't think Canelo's the underdog for the other reason we talked about, where people are underestimating because of his age and stuff like that?
I don't think it's the age, man. It's the number of fights and the fact that they have evidence to suggest that he's slowing down. And like I said before, he would even back that up because he himself has admitted to not looking his best in the last few fights, and he blamed it on his injuries or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Bole, I'm gonna say this, and Lubin, my guy. I rock with Lubin. I'm pulling for him. I like Ramos a lot too, man. But if he don't control the pace of the fight, he getting stopped. If Lubin is unable to control the pace of the fight and slow the pace down, more importantly, slow it down, because Ramos is a buzzsaw in there, accurate. Man, he dangerous, man. If he's not able to slow the pace down, he's gonna be in trouble. He's gonna get stopped. Yeah, they're the same age, right? That's why I say it's definitely not Canelo's age. I think it's the number of fights and the last few fights more specifically that people have to go off to show that he ain't looked his best. And you brought up the amount of fights. People forget Canelo started fighting at 15 years old as a professional. But you know what? Guess how old Charlo was when he started.
As a professional?
17. That's 2 years different, and they're the same age. So think about it.
That's confusing. They're the same age. That's so confusing.
Canelo started fighting at 15, but they both 33 years old. But Charlo started at 17. Yeah, but got less fights. So he got, to me, it's obvious he got a lot more wear and tear. But that's a double-edged sword, because with that wear and tear comes experience. And we know he's not completely a washed fighter. You get what I'm saying? So it's not going to be an easy fight for Mel at all. But facts are they're the same age, but that's what it is. He got the wear and tear because he got all the fights, but that comes with a lot of experience that Charlo is going to have to account for with being smart and listening to his trainer.
And the main fight people always bring up is Floyd. Thanks to Floyd, Canelo changed how he fights. Not all the way, but I
just don't see why he wouldn't be able to take his power for some reason. Like, I feel like he says John Ryder got some size to him, but he was taking everything Canelo had. You get what I'm saying? He's taking everything. Appreciate you, and much love and appreciation, bro.
And we ain't never got to box again. Well, right. well. I already been getting these bets, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
Salute to you, bro. Wrapping up anyway, man. We go, but yeah, fight week. Canelo, man, this is gonna be a good fight, good test for him. See what he really.
Is this in Vegas or San Antonio, like most of Canelo's fight is?
Some people think that this fight is going to show if Canelo Alvarez is really declining or not. I say I get it. To a certain degree what they're trying to say, but I feel like you've seen some decline just naturally over the last few fights. But I understand why they're saying that, because the difference is you'll really be able to see it because they feel like that's the kind of challenge that Charlo presents to him, where if he's really declining, then Charlo going to exploit it and he's going to show it to you.
Just you always say this with older fighters when they go into a big pay-per-view. Is Father Time going to be in the audience or right next to the ring?
Yeah, that's my thing right there. That's what I'll be saying. I think he'll be in the audience, but he definitely ain't front row. Not for Canelo. It ain't time yet. Father Time ain't on his back like that yet. But he definitely watching. He definitely get a ticket to the fight every time Canelo fight, though. You know what I'm saying? He ain't necessarily, you know what I mean? He ain't necessarily in the nosebleeds, but he ain't ringside either. You know what I'm saying? So, but he in the building. So that's a real thing. But, you know, I think the biggest issue for Canelo has always been the wear and tear. You know what I mean? And being pro for so long, 15 years old, all the way up until now, that's crazy. So we're going to see how it affects him. If it affects him, we're going to see if he's able to, if the injuries were the real reason why his last few performances look lackluster, we're going to find out. We will see. We will see. And as far as for Tank, man, I would love to know what's next for him. Like I said, I've seen a few different things get thrown out there, from Loma to you know, T.O., and I just don't know what to think about none of that. But only thing I can say, like, a lot of people deem Calvin Ford to be solid, so do I. I just listened to what he said. It's going to turn heads. Make me think that something is coming down the pipe. Celestial Being was good with it. Johnny Beck versus Big Charles sounds like a good title fight. Hey, man, Celestial Being, Johnny Beck and Andrew Gray. Salute to my bro. Miss Joy. Appreciate my bro, Ant. But Johnny Beck and Carlos Adames, Celestial Being. That's a better fight. And I say that because Adames been more active than Charlo, of course, right? And Johnny Beck said he want to fight Adames after his next fight. He said he want to fight him. So we'll see. Has Devin signed the fight? I think he did it, Kello. I think everything is good. Because the last time I heard him speak on it, he was saying, like, he said the date and everything too. So he should be locked in and ready to go. Yeah, bro. Bole, man, got smoked, man. Gonna lose to that damn 0-2 Cardinals, man. Whatever, man. 0-2 damn team, Cowboys. But it's all good, though. It's all good, man. But again, salute to everybody in the building, man. Appreciate everybody pulling up, rocking with your boy, man. This is fight week. We're gonna get a good one, man. I believe Charlo and Canelo are going to put on a hell of a fight. That undercard is worth seeing. Let's see what Joe Joyce do next. See if he consider retirement, or if you know what? He's not going to consider retirement because he said he's going to keep fighting, as a matter of fact. And just a little quick mention, Jessica McCaskill. I like her. So I like her a lot. She had a fight with that chick Sandy Ryan over this weekend, and I believe she got beat. You know, I think she got out-hustled, outworked, outlanded. And I think they gave her a favorable decision by making it a draw. I think McCaskill's best days are kind of behind her. That's much respect to her. I think simply her age is catching up to her. Her style, you know, is hard to keep up with her. You know, when you getting up there in age, you know, her reflexes and, you know, speed and punch placement and things like that is slowing down. She's a little more hittable, a little more stationary than she normally is. And I just think she got a favorable decision by getting a draw. So if they make that fight again, I think she'll mess around and lose if they give her the right decision, because that's the second fight in a row where she just didn't look that good. And I think it's simply because she's getting older. You get what I'm saying? And she put in some work, but you know how to, you know, she had a ton of fights, but she's still like, 38, 39, something like that. So she getting up there and she's slowing down respectfully. And I think those young fighters always going to be a tough out for her. And like I said, I don't think she won. Me either, Miss Joette. I don't think she won at all. Salute to my guy, Mike. But salute to everybody in the building. Appreciate y'all, man. Another dope build in the books. Salute to everybody in the building. Y'all smash the like button on the way out, man. Y'all join your boy here tomorrow, 4 o'clock. We're going to build again, as we always do. So with that, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all good Monday, and we be back tomorrow to cook on this good boxing, man. So with that, we up out of here, y'all. Peace to the fam.